when you fuel up on $35 or more of premium high-performance fuel. Conditions apply. See stores for details. Circle K. Take it easy. Get a half gallon of Dairy Gold milk for only $1.99 when you fuel up on $35 or more of premium high-performance fuel. Conditions apply. See stores for details. Circle K. Take it easy. Get a $7 meal for only $1.99 when you fuel up on $35 or more of premium high-performance fuel. Conditions apply. See stores for details. Circle K. Take it easy.
Health officials in Sri Lanka now say 253 people were killed in the Easter suicide bombings, down from more than 350.
New info also coming out about the ISIS-linked bombers. Among them, 2 wealthy upper-class Muslims, sons of a local spice mogul who is one of 70 arrested. 2 attackers had also fought with ISIS in Iraq and Syria, and 2 had lived and studied in the UK and Australia. Today, the Sri Lankan Defence Minister stepped down after growing anger that the attack could have been prevented. And at least 2 more armed suspects are still being hunted. And authorities have suggested Catholic churches cancel Mass until security is improved.
Fox's Benjamin Hall, a former Florida police officer just sentenced to 25 years in prison for the fatal shooting of a stranded black motorist. Prosecutors say the then officer was in plain clothes and driving an unmarked van when he confronted Corey Jones, who thought he was being robbed and pulled out a handgun. The fired officer, Newman Raja, was convicted last month of manslaughter and attempted murder. In Michigan, a ruling just in from a 3-judge federal panel that the state's congressional and legislative maps are unconstitutionally gerrymandered. That panel is ordering state lawmakers to redraw at least 34 districts for the 2020 election. Straighter teeth, soon to be available at the drugstore.
CVS is getting into the nationwide boom of teeth straightening and will be opening hundreds of Smile Direct Club locations inside its stores this year, with plans to open more than 1,000 locations over the next 2 years. It's being called a Smile Shop, and CVS customers can receive a 3D scan of their teeth that will be used to create a pair of invisible braces. Smile Direct Club says its treatment is safe because each case is monitored remotely by a dentist or orthodontist.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. Some orthodontists have criticized the lack of an in-person visit. The Dow drops 135. This is Fox News.
Helen Keller once said, "Blindness separates us from things, but deafness separates us from people." At Ross Hearing Aids, it's their mission to keep you connected to the moments and the people that matter most in your life. Hearing aid technology has never been better, so schedule your complimentary hearing consultation today. Call Ross Hearing Aids, 637-HEAR, 637-4327. You should hear what you're missing.
I love you, Daddy.
How's your hearing?
In illness and in wellness, Calvo's Select Care is health care that is there for you. That's why over 80% of the Guam medical community places their trust and insures with us. We offer our members wellness and fitness programs for a healthier lifestyle and provide a comprehensive medical network on and off island to help members from unexpected illnesses. Contact Calvo's Select Care today for more information.
This is Ronnie. Ronnie is about to break his piggy bank.
Come on, piggy bank.
Ronnie wants to upgrade his smartphone.
And this piggy's gonna help me.
If Ronnie had signed up for GTA's handset payment option, he could have selected a new smartphone with an affordable monthly plan.
I could have what?
Exactly. Sign up for HBO at GTA and don't break the bank.
I'm sorry, piggy bank.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit gta.net for more information. GTA.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 7 minutes past 6 a.m. this Friday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. Captain Stephen Ignacio has been officially confirmed as chief of the Guam Police Department. Senators last night unanimously approved his confirmation after a follow-up psychological evaluation concluded that he is mentally fit for GPT's top job. Earlier in the day, the legislature's Public Safety Oversight Chair, Senator Jose Terlahi, announced that clinical psychologist Andrea Lighthizer conducted a second fitness for duty evaluation of Ignacio on Wednesday. Lighthizer wrote that Ignacio complied with the recommendations she made in her initial evaluation, and as a result of his successful compliance with those recommendations, he is cleared, with the caveat that he is to continue those efforts. In her first evaluation, Lighthizer had concluded that Ignacio was not fit from a mental health perspective. In a news release yesterday, however, Public Safety Chair Senator Terlahi explained that Lighthizer had recommended that Captain Ignacio undergo a physical examination, which was subsequently done by Dr. Vince Akimoto, who also said that Ignacio was mentally and physically fit for the job. During yesterday's session, Senator Therese Terlahi explained that Captain Ignacio had apparently expressed concern about his ability to meet the rigorous fitness standards that all officers, including the chief, must pass under the post-standards review next year. The chairman of the Consolidated Commission on Utilities, Joey Duenas, says he is taking responsibility for the bonuses and pay raises that the CCU approved for GWA and GPA executives behind closed doors last November. Attorney General Levin Camacho informed Duenas in a letter on Tuesday this week that approval of those raises during that closed-door session on November 27th violated Guam's open government law. As a result, the AG informed Duenas that the salary adjustments and bonuses are void and must be paid back. Duenas said it was his responsibility as chairman, and he should have done a better job of ensuring that the salary adjustments were discussed during the open session portion of that meeting. Duenas said that the utility company's lawyers are reviewing their procedures to comply with the Attorney General's directive. The lawyers were among those who received salary increases last year. Bob Klitsky, the host of the Tall Tales radio program here on The Point, was the first to point out the open government law violation last week following a report in the Guam Daily Post about those salary increases and bonuses. We'll have more news after this.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they'll continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,600 by calling Family Finance in Agutya at 475-4545, Upper Tumon at 647-5626, or in Dededo, 633-4473. Family Finance, serving the people of Guam since 1959.
Docomo Pacific's all-new business bundles provide tailored solutions to help your business become a better business. Choose from our Business Basic, Essential, or Value bundles and get unlimited talk and text, worry-free data at home and abroad, plus access to the fastest online speeds in the Marianas. Add on mobile or broadband lines and save up to 20% for each line. Email businesssales@docomopacific.com to find out which bundle provides the best solution for your business. Terms and conditions apply.
News time here at The Point is 11 minutes past 6 a.m. Following a bruising confirmation hearing that left his nomination hung up in committee, GTA Executive Vice President Dan Tadenko called on Governor Lou Leon Guerrero to formally withdraw his name from consideration for appointment to the Airport Board of Directors. In his withdrawal letter obtained by the Guam Daily Post, Tadenko is highly critical of the legislative process that derailed his nomination, writing that the legislative body has been misused by people who are conflicted. And as a result, he wrote, the legislative process has been hijacked by those who appeal to fear and prejudice for their own political purposes. Tadenko received strong support from a number of witnesses at his confirmation hearing on March 8th, including former Port Authority General Manager Joanne Brown and Bank Pacific President Phil Flores. However, he was the subject of criticism at that hearing by Bernadette Stern-Meno, the former marketing manager at the Port Authority, who was fired in December 2012, along with 6 other port employees, following allegations she had falsified a workers' compensation claim. Tadenko was chairman of the board at the time down at the port. Senator Mary Torres, who was Port Authority General Manager when Tadenko was board chairman, also opposed his nomination at that hearing. And committee chairwoman Senator Talina Nelson decided not to advance Tadenko's nomination, citing Torres's testimony. Tadenko, in his letter to the governor, wrote that the committee chairperson completely disregarded the exhibits provided to her, which, Tadenko says, proved there was an attempt to fraudulently claim workmen's compensation benefits. Both Senator Torres and Nelson responded to Tadenko's letter with brief statements welcoming the governor's decision to appoint Doyan Morato in place of Tadenko, Senator Torres said that she looks forward to the honesty and integrity that Morato will bring to the airport authority. Guam Police Department is asking for the public's help in finding 2 men and a woman wanted for questioning following a string of robberies and thefts. If seen, police warn they should not be approached. They are considered armed and dangerous, according to police spokesman Sergeant Paul Tapau. The individuals have been identified as 36-year-old William Yam Nang. His last known address was on Jose Sudo Street in Zonia, but he is known to frequent Maritzo. 40-year-old Xavier Anderson Tatautau, whose last known address was also on Jose Sudo Street. He's known to frequent Agate. And Joanna Elena Paulino Babauta also lived on that same street. Police did not reveal which robbery cases the trio are wanted for. Anyone who sees any of the individuals should call the Guam Police Department at 472-8911 or call the Guam Crime Stoppers hotline at 477-HELP. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Ray and Mike now with a look at weather.
Let's see here. Partly cloudy and isolated showers, Kevin. Winds from the east up to about 20 miles an hour, just like yesterday, decreasing 10 to 15 miles an hour for each night over the weekend. Highs around 89 degrees. Overnight lows, 78 degrees. Real warm out there, real muggy in the morning. Sunset tonight, 6:35. And we saw the sun come up about 2 minutes after 6 o'clock this morning. Should be, by Monday, it'll be either 5:59 or 6 o'clock when the sun starts coming up.
Yeah, probably a little bit earlier than that. Didn't look it up, but yeah, it'll be right around the 6
There's all almanac-y stuff out there, and just a note, the fire weather watch is in effect until 8 o'clock tonight, but my guess is they're probably going to reissue it as soon as almost immediately, right?
Yeah, more than likely, and we've had red flag warnings each of the past 4 days, so probably that will get kicked back in today as well, because as we look at the radar, we're not going to see too much out there. There are a few isolated showers that may move through during the morning drive.
I can't get the radar up.
Well, that's okay. The weather just keeps going.
There it is. Okay, I found it.
And it looks like could get a little dose up in the north and central. We need the rain. Any rain we get was fine. Actually, the rain we got yesterday morning helped us in the north and central areas, but I don't think they got as much of it down south. Need more down there in those hills. But these isolated showers will cruise on through. May get a little bit of an uptick in the early morning hours as the sun kind of heats up the atmosphere and gets a little lift going, but it won't be much because we've got dry air at the mid-levels, and that's what's keeping the amounts of rainfall down. Checking satellite here, just got the trade wind flow. You can see those low little clouds that are just kind of cruising on along. Blobbage down to the south is just tropical blobbage. It'll stay down there. Nothing much expected out of that. The water temperatures, we were talking about that. They are heating up. Yeah, currently 82 degrees around Guam, which is perfect. That's just getting into the perfect range for tropical development. So if anything out there starts to spin up, it'll have plenty of fuel to do so.
It's 6:15 in the morning. That's news and weather together here on The Point, brought to you by Bank Pacific, where others put branches, they place roots.
Experience the Take Care difference. Take Care members can count on accessing a high-quality, credentialed network of on-island providers, including the convenient one-stop FHP Health Center and Urgent Care, access to an extensive off-island network of providers, and the island's largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs. You can count on Take Care to deliver comprehensive, accredited insurance coverage and quality health care when and where you need it. Take Care. Our island, your health plan. Learn more at TakeCareAsia.com.
It's a quarter after 6 o'clock in the morning. Portions of the Ray Gibson Show brought to you by King's Restaurant with the crazy 19 menu back. Your favorite breakfast and lunch and snacks and dinner items served all day, every day. King's Restaurant, always open, always local. Also brought to you by American President Lines. They're shipping the future in Micronesia renewable energy. There's never been a better time to go solar.
Let's go for a drive.
Let's take a stroll. Let's gallivant. Let's go cruising.
We all have different ways to describe how we get up and go in our cars. But whatever you may call it, you can do more of it when you save 6% off your fuel purchases at any Shell station when you use your eligible Bank of Guam Visa and MasterCard credit cards. So stop by any Guam or CNMI Shell station and start saving today. Visit bankofguam.com for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Bank of Guam, the People's Bank. Member FDIC.
A Ray Gibson Radical Rhythm Radio Show also brought to you by Guam Regional Medical City, the first choice for your specialty care needs. Cars Plus, and you know, always talk about Joey and Jen, but check out Dunge if you've got some fleet car deals that you've got to get done. Dundreas knows exactly how to put those deals together for you over at Cars Plus. And the guys over at Wendy's inviting you in to try the popular cod filet sandwich combo. Was sold out, now back in stock for a limited time. Simple, clean, and honest. A cod filet combo at Wendy's for a limited time.
The Ray Gibson Show.
morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
About you, but this week just flew by us, didn't it? I mean, it felt like it was here. It's it's going to be Monday again in just a couple of days. It's just fast weekend.
No, there's no need to go on there and curse.
Well,
right?
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. It was Kevin and I talking when I came into the studio this morning. It's like, wow, dude, it's Friday already. Wow, can hardly wait till Monday. Yay! Well, I don't know about you. The weekend is already stacked up with all kinds of activities and events that are worth talking about. So I could spend a little bit of time talking about some of the things that I've got stacked up on my weekend plans. Love to hear about yours at 888-8255-888-TALK, especially low-cost, no-cost family stuff. Because Joe Bradley's page 2 of today's Guam Daily Post, Joe Bradley said, and they took out the whole room at the Dusitani for my buddy Joe to get up there and state what is obvious to anybody that is looking. He says, prices rising faster than incomes. Consumer prices on Guam risen 5.6% in the last 2 years. Most recent rise in prices attributed to retailers raising their shelf prices in reaction to rising costs, including higher taxes, Bradley says. Payroll employment shown little growth for many years. Prices are rising faster than incomes. Yeah, so if you've got low-cost, no-cost activities, perfect for families, I want to hear about it. Just put it on the Facebook or WhatsApp it to me at 988-5874. That's 988-5874. Michael Knight will get the phone when you call it, 888-8255. That's 888-8255. And Kevin Kerrigan, of course, from the Guam Daily Post with heavy doses of all of today's big news stories that we're going to be covering. And not to be an alarmist kind of guy, but when the police department says armed and dangerous, do not approach, that's generally pretty good advice. There's a trio of folks running around: Johanna Babauta, Xavier Tatautau, and William Jam Jam. I think that's the way that they pronounce his nickname, or Yam Yam, are out there on the loose. They're wanted by the police for questioning in a couple of robberies and thefts, but they might know that the police are looking for them and might be a little bit paranoid about it. So don't approach them. If you see them, say something, call the police department and have them come and take care of business. All right, speaking of taking care of business, up early as usual, Ismael, and I'll go over the rest of the list in a sec.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name.
And this morning it's here on Facebook Live, but last night apparently it was at Avengers. I think that was the big deal for everybody to get all into the dark place to watch. What is it, 2.5, 3 hours worth of the Avengers movie? Ismael in first as usual, followed by James Howard and Jennifer Post Schnitger, Anita Mofness, and she came up with her Valentine's eyes early this morning. Dennis Bensur and who's that? John? Which John is that? That came in. John Ray came in. Jolene Manabusan and Linda Gabriel round out the top. But there's Lynn Vince, Borja Polino, Jan Mabini, Yoich Ringil saying Ungil Tutao. Linda Gabriel online. Nick Perlasky with his traditional hoik is out there. Rico Blancaflor. Friday, and no need to eat, only fish. Yes, the Lenten season is over, effective on Easter Sunday, and you can go into Kings and have whatever it is that tickles your fancy. Attack bird season almost upon us. That's a note from Dennis Bensur. If you're not, I forget the name of the birds. These little black birds that sometimes you see them on a telephone post, and they'll whistle at you. And the whistle is a warning. Get out of here, because I've got a nest around here, or I've got a mate around here, and I will protect the place. And generally, and they've got a bunch over at the port. And generally, the way it works, you'd be running, doing your jog, whatever, and they'll come down and get right up to your head, and then flap their wings like just like that, and then fly off. I've never actually seen one hit a runner, and I've gotten passed by these things all the time. It's just the idea that they're flying around, and we'll do a sortie around your head if you're not careful. But yeah, watch out for those guys. Chris Bacino's online, so is Mark Mendiola, Jolene Manibusan, Albert Eliason, Juanita Machi, Rod Rose Greeno. Good morning, Heather Paris. There's Dave Duenas, Rico Blancaflor with a question. So now the CCU board just says sorry, and that's it? No penalties? What do you want, the chair? You want an electric chair, public scourge in the courtyard? We'll just take out the Paseo de Susana and everybody come by. Instead of watching the Guam Major League, we'll get Joey Duenas and the guys out in the CCU and have them all bent over.
Kind of playing devil's advocate here, but I do kind of feel sorry for the folks that got the raises, because now, they got raises from the place where they're supposed to get raises, so why would they question it? They probably spent most of that money. Now they're going to have to pay it back because of the mistake that somebody else made.
So you're talking about some raises that came out in November. Yeah, maybe you got Christmas bonus money and went out there and bought a new car, jet ski.
$20,000, $10,000.
That's Christmas presents for everybody in the family. This is the basis of one of those National Lampoon movies, isn't it? Where you get the guy who invites his family over and talks about getting a swimming pool, and he gets the Cheese of the Month Club. Here's your Christmas bonus. James Howard with a note. Dan got toyed, and that's a reference to Dan Tydenko and Doyan, I think, is the replacement nominee now going to the Guam International Airport. That's going to the legislature up for a vote. Mark Scott saying good morning. John Torres is there. Greg Karabrock, Roy Burgess. There's Michelle Peer and Tim Lahan. I got Commissioner Roy Gamboa's out there. The other Governor Leon Guerrero. That's Ken Leon Guerrero online. Derwin Flores, Charlene Marchessault. Char, I saw you last night. Didn't have a chance to get to the side of the room that you were on. Lori Quintanilla Good is online. Ismael saying to Ken Leon Guerrero, you're late. That'll cost you 22 push-ups. Yeah, I tell you what, we're a strict squad around here. Levon Guerrero Meno. So noble of the Utilities Chair, Joey Duenas, to own up to those increases in bonuses. Who should then pay back? And more to the point that Mike was making a second ago. Rudy Magallanes is there. Elmo Cotton. Janella Carrera. Hey, Janella, how you doing? What you been up to? What press releases are we going to be amazed and surprised by from Adelup today? What kind of fun do we have? Isn't it nice you can come? Because I know before, when you were still working at the PNC, you weren't allowed to come and watch the show. But now you can join us every single day. Hey, guys, the press lady from Adelup is online, so if there's any questions that you want, what are you giggling about in there? No, that's the whole point. This is the interactive. This is the fun of doing Facebook Live.
She'll never come back.
She'll come back. She'll come back every morning. If for no other reason, wait a second. She will come back every morning, if for no other reason, to see what kind of shirt I'm wearing today. Let me turn off the screen stuff, and this is my. I don't even know what the color is. It's like a burgundy, right?
It really is.
But it's a burgundy island print shirt here, perfect for today, and that will bring Janella coming back to the show to see what kind of shirt I'm going to be wearing. Because sometimes everyone, what I guess, what's getting hot? V-necks are getting really, really hot. And normally, there'd be some kind of rule about what you can and can't wear to work, collared shirts and things like that. But I'm telling you, V-necks look unbelievably cool, and I think that's going to be the next thing for everybody. So, hi, Janelle, nice to see you there. Florence Cruz is online. I got Linda Gabriel, Patty Santiago, Enrico Blancaflor, very inquisitive fella here. Yep, who will Thanos and the Night King kill this weekend? I haven't been to the Avengers thing. I'm really not actually paying any attention to it, but let's be careful about spoilers for the people that actually had things to do last night that didn't involve going to the movie theater and watching the Avengers. Ismael apparently already knows. Hey, Lil, Rick Leone, Carlos Barreto. Carlos, I got to get with you, and I'll spill some beans on it right now. In June, I will be celebrating 40 years as a broadcaster. It was the summer of 1979 that I was invited by, at the time, Harv Angel, Albert Wan, and Ed Poppy to hold down weekend overnights at K-Stereo.
Oh, that's at the top of the ladder.
At the time, it was.
Yes, it was.
at the time, it was. Entry-level position in the happening FM station. And I don't know. I haven't really ever done anything since then. So it's since the summer of 1979, and here we are in the summer of 2019 coming up. And so I want to do a live broadcast from somewhere. I don't want to take the equipment that I'm using right now out. So, Carlos, I'm going to get with you, and we'll talk about how you can help me do a live broadcast on the occasion of the 40th anniversary of Ray Gibson in broadcasting. And everybody in all of the other industries that there are on Guam, you should thank your lucky stars that I never got into your industry. I just mess it up. Rudy Magallanes is there. John Heredia, super happy it's Thursday. I'm sorry, I like the acronym. Hello from Vegas. Lillian Cruz and Julie Cruz, Bob Lazama, Ken LG. Compensation for GPA GWA management may just a little too much, a little too high for the small utility systems we have on Guam. And then he goes into let's compare GPA manager compensation to the compensation of small power, water, sewage utility. I ain't got time to read all that stuff here. Francis Salas, Rudy Magallanes. See, hey, Janela Carrera knows everything. I got Randy Kruger, Lillian Cruz, Joe Leasealangi, Sylvan Tadella, Pam Duvall. Huge list this time. Rudy says, first time I listened to you was the time that you were doing on Hit Radio 100. That was in 84. April of 84 is when we signed on to that. Did my time on the town of Mount Metsesi weekend overnights back in 79. You too, huh? Eric Adda. Nick Perlowski, JFK Class of 79, 40th reunion. I've been in touch with Ken on this, but Nick, if you've got some information on your 40th that you want to pass along to me, just do it there, and we'll get it on the air. Who's saying I got a nice shirt? Yes. Oh, can I tell you where the shirt comes from? John Savaris is online. Good. We can start. For those of you curious about it, Stitch Fix. I buy a lot of clothes. I buy clothes locally, obviously, but there's an outfit called StitchFix.com. I'll give you a link on the website or in the Facebook in a minute or so, and you sign up with them, and they will send you a box every month, every couple of months, every 3 months or something like that. But the cool thing is you go to them and you say, these are clothes I'm likely to wear. It'll show a picture of, say, a shirt or a pair of pants or shorts or something like that, and you thumbs up or thumbs down. And it kind of narrows down your individual style. And then, like I said, in my case, once every other month, I get a box from Stitch Fix, and there's, cool shirts and shorts in it. And the other cool thing, Lisa Babin, right? Lisa's daughter is a stylist. She is my stylist over at Stitch Fix, which means I don't need to tell her about what island people wear on Guam. She's already got an idea, picked out this shirt for me, and sent it out. So I try it out, StitchFix.com. I'll put a link up, and the link that I put up will make it so that you get a $35 discount on your first shipment. Right? I get a discount. I get a bonus, too, but you definitely get a discount on that. What time is it? 6:30? All right. Table of contents today. Yeah, there's a table of contents. Some of it is updates and retreads of stories we've been talking about all week. You might be curious why I'm calling it Gov Guam Garage Sale. That's why I've titled today as Gov Guam Garage Sale. The theme will be exposed on the other side of headlines, etc. From the Guam Daily Post at 6:30, it's time for headlines with Kevin Kerrigan.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. In the headlines from the Daily Post this morning, in Superior Court yesterday afternoon, Renato Capilli-Bossi was found guilty of criminal sexual conduct allegations involving a 14-year-old girl who claimed the pastor of her church had inappropriately touched her multiple times and harassed her with inappropriate phone calls and emails. The jury of 12 spent about an hour deliberating yesterday afternoon following an 8-day trial. Bossi was convicted of 2 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct, 2 counts of fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct, and child abuse. He faces a minimum of 10 years in prison. In closing arguments yesterday, Chief Prosecutor Basil O'Malley said Bossi used his position as a man of God to strike fear in his young victim. In his close, defense attorney Stephen Hattori described Bossi as a man of faith who devoted 40 years to his church. Following the verdict, Bossi's defense attorney Hattori said his client has faith and will proceed with an appeal. Bossi has repeatedly denied the allegations. His sentencing has been set for July 24th. Senators last night unanimously confirmed key cabinet nominees appointed by Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. Stephen Ignacio was confirmed chief of the Guam Police Department after a second psych evaluation pronounced him fit for duty. Colonel Esther Agagi confirmed as the director of the Department of Military Affairs and the Adjutant General of the Guam National Guard. She's the first woman to lead the Guam Guard. Also confirmed were Samantha Brennan as director of the Department of Corrections, Lester Carlson as director of the Bureau of Budget and Management Research, and Ignacio Paredo as director of the Guam Customs and Quarantine Agency. Guam consumers have been taking a beating in recent years, and there's little hope for a let-up in the short term, according to chief economist and senior vice president at the Bank of Guam, Joe Bradley, sharing his views on the global and local economy to island business and government leaders yesterday during a Bank of Guam-sponsored economic forum. Bradley said that the past 20 years, Guam's economy has been relatively flat or grown only slowly since 1998. In recent years, he said, consumer prices have been rising faster than earnings, and it looks like higher energy prices are going to make things substantially worse. Consumer prices on island have risen 5.6% in the past 2 years, said Bradley. Payroll employment has shown little growth for many years, and prices are rising faster than incomes, he said. He blamed the most recent price rises in part on higher taxes. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
Really? Higher taxes? Imagine that. Well, boom. Who'd have thought? 6:33 in the morning, and that's iConnect. Run by the nearest iConnect and enjoy the specials that they've got for you. Need a mobile plan? You maybe just one of those people. Look, I just need a phone, okay? I don't need all the bells and whistles and all the other cool things. I just want a phone to make and receive phone calls with, the occasional WhatsApp and Instagram post. That's it. Well, they've got plans for exactly you at iConnect. Give them a ring later on, 888-8888.
The University of Guam presents Tritons Out Loud. Celebrate a day of diversity on Friday, April 26th at the University of Guam Calvo Fieldhouse from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come out and experience the opening parade, food trucks, fashion and entertainment, and more.
Let's have some fun.
This event is open and free to the public. Join the first ever Diversity Day where we celebrate unity, pride, sexuality, individuality, and diversity of the Triton and Island community. Tritons Out Loud.
And no traffic right now to worry about. It's 6:34, and I don't even know if no accidents. I got no red spots anywhere on the traffic gizmo, so I'll go ahead and keep this short. You might just see it a little bit of a traffic backup at some of the intersections because they have lights there that actually make the cars stop. Well, they're supposed to stop. But anyway, so you see a little bit of that going on, but I don't see anything backing up or slowing down anywhere in front of the military bases or installations or in front of the big schools. That'll change in about 10 minutes, so you might want to hit the road now if you can. It's 6:35. There's your right now traffic here on The Point.
KFC has finally answered the world's most important question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? And the answer is both. Introducing KFC's KFC AM, their new Southern and local inspired breakfast. AM loaded platter with chicken fried rice, waffles, and Colonel's chicken congee. KFC also has your all-time favorites, AM chicken and egg wraps, Southern biscuit and sausage sandwich, and hash browns. So for finger-licking good mornings, AM will never be the same at KFC. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
The Ray Gibson Show. Any speaker, anytime. Morning talk that matters.
So is this the new outrage, the diplomatic outrage? You got to keep your eye. This is, I think we're heading into, because it's April, right? It's still a little bit of April left on the calendar. It's around that time of year where the North Koreans, and I think this will bear out. If you take a look at the calendar over the years, you usually see it's in the springtime that the North Koreans start to get real weird and antsy. So we've got Kim Il, what's his face, meeting up with Putin. Yeah, right? They got together at somebody on a train, and they went out and got together and had some vodka and kimchi.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, it happens in spring because that's when things actually start to thaw out in North Korea. It's a pretty cold place.
Right.
Especially with no electricity or heat.
And now we've got another kind of North Korean nonsense. They gave apparently a $2 million hospital bill for the care of American Otto Warmbier, who is I was under the impression didn't they beat him senseless and put him in a coma? Isn't that what happened with him?
Yeah, he eventually died.
Yeah, so they put him in a hospital and then wanted somebody to pay a $2 million hospital bill. The guy signed a promissory note, but I don't know that that's a bill that we're going to bother paying to the guys. It's just some weirdness going around diplomatically. And did you see where Duterte squared off against the Canadians?
I haven't seen.
You haven't. Look it up. I don't want to explain it because I'll ruin it. I'll ruin the telling of the story. So do me a favor. Look it up in there. Just Duterte and Canadians and garbage. Right. You go, what? All right. Those are three interesting keywords. Take a look at it. 6:37 in the morning. He's going to do that while he does that. Let me get Becky North on the line. Hey, Beck, how you doing?
Okay, how are you today?
You know what? It's Friday, so I'm unbelievably frosty. I'm ready for the weekend. Got all kinds of stuff. Did you go watch Mamma Mia? Did you take the kids to go watch Mamma Mia yet?
No, but I think some of our students will be going today.
Good. Now, I'm told that it is a great show. I presume it's a great show because my nephew is in it, and I think today he's in one of the major roles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So they'll enjoy it. I know one of my little boys has been saying all week, Friday.
Yeah, Mama. Now, are you a big ABBA fan?
I enjoy it, yeah.
I'm picturing you enjoying ABBA. in those electric disco clothes that you used to wear in the 70s. All right, 6:38 in the morning. Let's get something on about quiz night. I'm looking at the calendar. It is literally right around the corner next week.
Next week. Yes, it's coming up. So Habitat for Manatee's quiz night, team event trivia challenge.
Mm-hmm.
For those out there that might be new on Guam, come down to the Sheraton. You plop down $360 for team of 6. Got great food and a lot of fun. Great quiz master read out 6 rounds of questions for us.
Mm-hmm.
Top team at the end goes home with $600 cash.
That is so sweet.
Thank you, stay well.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody else goes home with 6 of something.
We got a big wall of prizes, and if you don't get the money, we will call you up in the order you lost in. The nicest way to say that. And so the second team will go up there and look at the big wall of prizes and be able to snag some other great, cool prizes that our other sponsors and supporters have provided. And yeah, I mean, it might be 6 big things of dog food, might be 6 big things of laundry detergent, or it's 6 big things of gasoline. We've had some of the vendors provide actual gift certificates for gasoline as part of the big wall of prizes. So it's a whole bunch of fun. You get there about 5 o'clock over at the Sheraton. Cool your heels. We'll get some dinner going, and the game will start officially at 7:30.
Exactly. But if you want to buy your tickets, it's better to do it now.
Yeah.
Especially if you do it by tomorrow, your team will get their team name will get thrown into a hat. And any team that's paid by tomorrow will have a chance to win an extra team prize.
That's right, the early bird prize. And, in the past, we've had Rolex watches and big screen TVs and airplane rides. I don't know what we're going to be coming up with this weekend, but we'll just have to see and find out. So to get that money together, get those teams together, and let's do quiz night.
Right.
All right.
And the way is that you could check with us about getting tickets. You could email us at habitatqn@gmail.com. You could call us at 647-4667 or 565-6480. Or if you just want to come to the Habitat office, we're down in Agana on Marine Corps Drive. 2-story building right in front of Axe Murder Tours, across from Big Hook and Mescla.
Love the name of that place, Axe Murder Tours. That's just, I laugh every time I pass by that place.
Jim is crazy. I think it's fun. So, and we're on the 2nd floor. The entrance is in the back. We'll be there tomorrow from 10 o'clock until at least 4, maybe 5.
So you just can't stand the fun anymore. Okay. Hey, listen, I got to let you run. You have a terrific Friday and into the weekend. I hope you get a chance to go and see Mamma Mia as well.
Thanks.
All right. Talk to you pretty soon. That's Becky North, Habitat for Humanity. Other activities, and here's something, Youth Fest 2019. And if you need to get rid of the kids for a few hours, send them to Chamorro Village between 10 and 5 o'clock, where they're going to have a carnival outreach event for Guam's youth. There are going to be photo booths, and DJs are going to be there, service learning opportunities, dance competitions, Ultimate Voices competition, youth and solo and duets. Vendors, carnival games. Carnival games? They'll have carnival games? Have these been approved by the legislature? Have these been approved by Jimmy Moylan? The carnival games that they're going. Wouldn't it just be the craziest thing in the world with all the rigmarole that we're going over for the actual carnival coming up in the summertime, and you get these kids over at Youth Fest flying under the radar, hidden in the walls, saying, "Yeah, we got carnival games. What do you want? We're going to play Pisoy and the color game." And
are they games of chance?
Poker? I don't know. Carnival game. You know, maybe I'll find Sarita or Isabel later on and see what they've got to say. I had Vic Camacho in here promoting this the other day, and it slipped my mind to ask him about that. 6:43 in the morning, and yeah, there's so today the theme of today's program is. Wait a second, I wrote it down. I forgot. That's why I put it on Facebook so I wouldn't lose the GovGuam garage sale. And I have in the past always advocated that the government of Guam. From time to time, have some kind of garage sale because they got junk that that they're not using or is broken and has been replaced and beyond economical repair, that kind of thing. And generally, as I understand it, it just kind of languishes in a warehouse in Petey somewhere. And today, Claudia Akfaji has taken out an advertisement for a surplus sale. You can go today, to Monday, and start inspecting all of the stuff that they have there: sedans, vans, trucks, cranes, scrap vehicles, buses, computers, scrap metals, cafeteria equipment, medical equipment, office furnitures, and many more. Clever marketing language they're using there, and many more. Call before midnight. And you might even be able to get some other cool stuff. The chair that Eddie Calvo sat in. What are they doing with that? Did he get to take it home? Making a face. Stop it. So starting Monday through May the 8th, you can go and inspect, and then on May the 9th, I guess is when they're going to be either doing auctions or actual sales of the items prior mentioned. I think this is a good idea. Can I let me tell you a story of a once upon a time. Some of you might remember this. It is the Ngoko family up in Maina. And once upon a time, they attended one of these things and bought some sedans and vans and trucks and vehicles from the government of Guam. Now, there is not one piece of mechanical in anything that the Ngokos cannot fix. So they'd get all of these otherwise busted down, broken down vehicles from the government of Guam, buy them at surplus prices, pennies on the dollar, literally. And this was the cute part. So they get all of this stuff and they buy it and they fix it and then they rented it back to the government of Guam. Brilliant! I'm telling you, it was a great business model, and so you might have an opportunity to get involved in that. Yes, go and get some stuff. Buy surplus castaway items from the government of Guam, fix it up, and then lease it back to them. Come on. That's how you stay ahead of the curve, guys. That's how you stay ahead of the bad news. We got Joe Bradley saying the wolf is at the door. We've got the rising costs around here and an inability for most people to stay above the increase in the consumer prices and the cost of living on Guam. And as I said at the beginning of this, they took out a whole room over at the Dusitani so that Joe Bradley could get up there and say what is obvious to anybody that has ever stood in line behind somebody with a snap card. Hey, Ken, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I've recovered from my penalties from Ishmael, obviously.
Well, yes, you got to get in here a little bit earlier. There is no sleeping in, and you got to time it. I generally begin the Facebook Live somewhere between 6 o'clock at the beginning of the Fox News and the end of the first commercial break inside that Fox News. That's not so don't go pee at that time.
Well, I thought I beat him one time, but you ruled against me. But that wasn't why I called.
Oh, that's all right. Now, just for the explanation, because it's already 6:46, and there's all kinds of new people that have no idea what we're talking about. There is a contest, and for bragging rights, etc. There is a contest on who can be the first, who will be the first to comment one way or the other on Facebook Live in the morning. And Ismael is hands down the winner of this. Pam Duvall spent about an hour and a half before the program yesterday trying to distract him so that she could become the first one in.
I tried that too. It doesn't work. He lives in an alternate universe. He's 30 seconds to a minute ahead of everybody else. So by the time real time hits us, he's already moved on.
Same thing. I did it again today. I clicked the button. I'm the one that clicks the button. So I clicked the button, and then I went to Facebook. And as soon as the little bell on Facebook went off, and here's the notice that the feed is live. I went to the feed, clicked on it, and he was already there. I don't know how he does it.
Black magic. What can I tell you?
The race to the point, she calls it. So what are you thinking about today?
Well, I think Joe Bradley's work, it focuses on a much different basket than my work focuses on, because over the past 2 years, I've documented a nearly 30% increase in the cost of living. So I'm obviously looking at a different basket of goods than he is. But the basket of goods I look at is the stuff that I buy every day, every week, and similar stuff to what everybody else buys. So the cost of living is going up, and going back to your garage sale, maybe we should consider throwing our utilities into that sale as well.
Ooh.
There's a lot of fat in those utilities, as I've been learning since I've been doing my research into it. First Sacramento and now Florida. I mean, we're getting gold-plated management to manage tin can utility systems.
Tin can utility systems.
Well, I mean, we got 50,000 customers here. The people that are getting paid $330,000 a year for water and power only managing, 1.5 million, 1.8 million customers. So, there's a big, huge discrepancy between what we're paying here for our utilities and what they're paying over there. And I guess they're tying the compensation here to the price of oil, because it doesn't make any sense when you tie it to the customer base. Then 1,000 customers.
So then let's have that conversation then with the Consolidated Commission on Utilities, and have them take a look maybe at the same markets that you're looking at, the same similar sized outfits in the mainland, or take a look at some of the gigantic ones, and then begin to scale it down by the population of the island, or the number of homes that we pass with the utilities. What's the going water rate somewhere else, and then use that to factor into their compensation package. So it's something that makes sense to you. For me, I kind of look at the jobs and think, is the position as general manager of the Power Authority here on Guam. Are those dollars worth it for somebody who has got 35, 40 years worth of experience in a utility? Are those commensurate with the job? And I am satisfied, and I've expressed my bias. I like JB, and I like what he's done for the Power Authority. Do they have issues? Absolutely. Are there any utilities in the world that don't have their share of issues? So, but I'm willing to have the conversation. Find me some guys over at the CCU that likewise will have the conversation about scaling the salary arrangements based on the size of our utility versus other utilities.
Well, I'm plan to try to force that by submitting a petition. That way they have to address it.
Yes.
Because just having a conversation like this in the community doesn't equal a mandate to the the CCU. Whereas if we submit a formal petition, then they have to go through the motions to respond to that petition. That's what I plan to do next week.
I think it'll be a righteous conversation. You know, and somewhere there might be some kind of middle ground. I hear what others in the community are saying. Hey, listen, you know, I've got serious issues with GWA. Miguel's a nice guy, but the most recent audit said 50% of the water that they send out they don't bill.
Yeah, and I mean, we hear all the time from people that are having all these meter issues that are getting charged for GWA's mistakes. And that's not fair because, you know, GWA was the one that picked these meters.
Mm-hmm.
GWA was the one that supposedly did exhaustive research into these meters and then picked them. And then when they fail, you know, somebody living on Social Security gets a notice, unless you pay $1,740, we're going to turn your water off.
Right, and just pay it, and then we'll give it back to you in a credit when we find out the nature of our mistake. Frank Gumatau, Gary Frank says, but they're doing such a great job in both maintaining the systems and keeping costs low. I wonder who will be last to get power after the next typhoon. Ken will be last to get power. They know where you live. They're gonna put a note on the meter, man. It's you get these guys passing by. Tell you who will start sending the imposters to your place.
Well, yeah. Well, one of the things that, you know, we keep hearing all the time, a lot of people talk about selling our utility systems. And, you know, that's beginning to resonate with a lot more people. And maybe if we were part of a bigger conglomerate where we could get the kind of expertise that's more affordable. I mean, if they're paying a guy $300,000 to manage 1.8 million customers, surely, you know, they've got a deep bench in there and they can send somebody over here. And instead of having two managers, maybe we could have one for half the price. It's not like we have the most extensive system in the world, that we have almost 1,000 miles.
So like a consolidate. So are you suggesting that consolidating the utilities and GWA and GPA under one head?
Well, if it saves taxpayers almost $500,000, why not?
Be an interesting conversation. You know what? It's the same conversation that we have avoided for years of saying, you know what? Maybe we just have a Department of Public Safety on Guam again and have instead of a chief of police and a chief of the fire department, we have like one guy. He would be the head of Guam's DPS, and then he'd have people under him. He'd have he'd have skippers under him that took care of the respective disciplines.
Well, you remember back in the 70s and early 80s, it was that way.
I do recall. I do remember that. Yeah.
Now we have a harbor chief, an airport chief, a court chief, a fire chief. You know, I mean, we just found ways to quadruple the cost of running government.
Could we let me just ask this question out loud. Could we make it an elected position? So instead of an appointment for a director of a Department of Public Safety, with the variety of disciplines laid out in front of them at captain level or something like that, could we make that an elected position so somebody would have to run and convince 50% plus one of the people of Guam that he's qualified for the job, fit for the job? How's that?
Well, a lot of municipalities do it, and they do it quite successfully. It's something that we need to consider because we don't have a growing economy, as has been pointed out to us very eloquently. What we need to do is we need to find a way to reduce the cost of government, which we haven't seen and we're not seeing, contrary to all the campaign promises.
Well, you know what, because we're not going to reduce the cost of government. We're going to sell our old junk at garage sales. That's how we're going to cover the new 911 system. That's how we're going to cover all the new salaries and all the different departments and agencies that have been spun back out into the community. We're just going to sell all of our old stuff at rummage sale rates. And that's how we're going to pay for things.
Well, following that line of logic, look at the success of selling Guam Telephone Authority. We could get the money from selling the utilities and actually fund our $1.3 billion pension liability and take that off the balance sheet and improve our credit rating.
Next thing you know, you're going to start talking about leasing out the old Hospital Point and bulldozing JFK and selling it to Walmart. Get out of here with that crazy talk here, Ken.
No, I'm not that radical. I'd be more inclined to have a company come in and develop the former Department of Administration police building into a super building and then lease it back to government of Guam. I mean, Atlanta has a really interesting building They leased the airspace over the highway. A company came in and built a big, huge office building over it, and it's a very successful building. So if we were to build a super office building from the Department of Administration over to the Martinez building, then we can reduce the rent government of Guam pays by $15 million a year, which would more than offset the bond payments to do that. But that makes too much sense.
Well, we'll keep talking about it. Dude, I got to run. I got to run. I'll see you. I'll see you later. 888-825-5888-TALK. You want more from Ken? I'm sure he'll be on with Bob a little bit later on in the broadcast day. 6:57 and change here. Buddy of mine sending me a note about the Vaporfly Nike Zoom Vaporfly 4%. The shoe will debut on the feet of several elite runners at the London Marathon coming up this weekend and be available the same day to the public in limited quantities, unisex sizing only. Are you ready for this? This is a pair of running shoes, but highly engineered running shoes. I mean, they put rocket scientists into the development of this particular shoe, and they believe it will take 4% off of whatever your record speed is. 4%.
And it works well with spacewalks, too.
$275.
Wow.
$275 for a pair of shoes.
That's insane.
You know what's insane? The runners will pay for it. I know guys that will pay for it, and I know guys that have paid for it. So they're out there, and yes, got Gov Guam prices. Gov Guam would pay $275 for a pair of shoes.
I won't even pay $35 for a pair of shoes.
It's one of those things.
The Kmart sneakers here, man, they were like $25.
No, I know what you mean. It's what's also one of the places where I get my Zoris because they're cheap. Anyway, we're closing in on the top of the hour. So let the visions dance in your head, friends. Possible business ideas that whip to mind with the surplus sale on sedans, vans, trucks, cranes, scrap vehicles, buses, computers, metals, etc. You might be able to get from the government of Guam in their big garage sale that's coming up on May the 9th and figure out ways that you can get them, refurb them, and then lease them back to the government of Guam.
I'm disappointed that they didn't write the ad in the form of a rhyme.
It would have been, you know what, we'll work on that. In fact, you can work on that, and we'll come back to you in the next hour of the program. Chalorna Laron, Nate Horn, those shoes are past their prices right now. Okay, Richard Leon, consolidate for cost reduction, measure up or get fired. The Pirate Connections and Familia Name Politics Handbook followers have to put up or shut up. Good morning, Regine Bisco. Lee's online. Melinda Sanchez. Prayers to you, doll. Andy Tidinko. Who else is on? Alfredo Mendoza. Melissa Akimoto is online. Tommy Barcinas. Nate Horn. Late to the program here today. Always nice to see Gary Gumatauta online. Didn't get to be the Attorney General of Guam, but you can be the Attorney General of the Ray Gibson Facebook page and Facebook Live show if you want to. Coming up, I got Fox News Live on the and more details here on Kim Jong-un sending a $2 million hospital bill for somebody they ended up, I think, killing to the United States of America. And maybe we'll get more on that Duterte-Canada garbage fight, because that's just fun to talk about. Stand by now for Fox News. On the other side of that, Kevin Kerrigan with a look at all the big stories from today's Guam Daily Post here on The Point.
A battle for the soul of the nation. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That theme from former Vice President Joe Biden launching his third run for president by targeting President Trump.
The former vice president's opening message is one of morality. His online video beginning with scenes from the racially charged violence in Charlottesville in 2017.
At that moment, I knew the threat to this nation was unlike any I had ever seen in my lifetime.
Biden saying if we give Donald Trump 8 years in the White House, he will forever and fundamentally alter the character of this nation.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. President Trump calls Biden Sleepy Joe in a tweet casting doubt on whether he can survive the crowded Democratic primary. Voting maps in Michigan have to be redrawn for the 2020 election. That ruling from a panel of 3 federal judges who say the congressional and legislative districts were gerrymandered for partisan gain. Some Republican lawmakers have argued that case should wait until after the U.S. Supreme Court decides redistricting cases from other states. A Coast Guard lieutenant suspected of plotting a possible terror attack but charged with other counts is being released by a judge. Fox's Gernal Scott has this live.
Lisa, a federal judge says his decision comes because Christopher Hassan has not been charged with a terrorism-related crime. Still, Judge Paul Day says Hassan will require, in his words, a whole lot of supervision. He intends to order house arrest and electronic monitoring. For now, it's not known when that will start. Hassan has been in custody since February and faces gun and drug charges. He's also accused of compiling a hit list that includes journalists, top Democrats, and others. Details of the release will likely come during a hearing, Lisa.
Thanks, Gernal. Facebook facing another investigation. The New York Attorney General now probing the unauthorized collection of contacts from more than 1 million users' emails. Facebook has said it happened during the email password verification process for new users. This is Fox News.
Hey, it's Mom. Somebody forgot to thaw the chicken, so meet us at Chili's for 2 for $25. Oh, and congratulate your sister for making the basketball team. She's thrilled. Love you. See you at Chili's.
Enjoy 2 full meal combos for $25. An appetizer, 2 mouth-watering entrees like our crispy chicken breast, smoked barbecue quarter leg, or smoked jalapeno cheddar sausage. Served with corn on the cob and french fries. 2 bold combos for $25. A full-on meal deal available nightly for a limited time. Together, we Chili's.
Docomo Pacific's all-new business bundles provide tailored solutions to help your business become a better business. Choose from our Business Basic, Essential, or Value bundles and get unlimited talk and text, worry-free data at home and abroad, plus access to the fastest online speeds in the Marianas. Add on mobile or broadband lines and save up to 20% for each line. Email businesssales@docomopacific.com to find out which bundle provides the best solution for your business. Terms and conditions apply.
Before sending detained American college student Otto Warmbier home unresponsive, North Korea gave the U.S. a $2 million medical bill for his care.
The Washington Post is reporting that President Trump approved of a U.S. envoy signing off on that medical bill. However, sources also tell Fox that the U.S. has not given a penny of that $2 million to North Korea.
Fox Business Network's Blake Berman at the White House. Warmbier was 22 when he died in a Cincinnati hospital a few days after returning from more than a year in custody in North Korea. A trio of House committee chairs want documents about recent leadership changes at the Department of Homeland Security.
The chairs of the House Oversight, Judiciary, and Homeland Security committees are raising concerns the president removed DHS officials because they would not violate federal immigration law. It comes after the announced resignations earlier this month of Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen and other top aides. Democratic-led committees are also requesting testimony from White House aide Stephen Miller. The White House's Miller is absolutely immune from congressional testimony.
Fox's Jared Halpern on Capitol Hill. The NFL Draft kicks off 3 hours from now in Nashville.
The Arizona Cardinals will be the first team on the clock with the first overall pick in this year's NFL Draft. A lot of speculation surrounding that selection, with most signs pointing to the Cardinals taking Oklahoma quarterback Kyler Murray, despite trading up last year in the draft for QB Josh Rosen. Now, Rosen could be on the trading block today, with other teams like the New York Giants and Washington Redskins shopping for someone under center. The Oakland Raiders entered today with 3 first-round picks, including the 4th overall. The Giants, Seattle Seahawks, and Green Bay Packers each have 2 picks as the result of trades.
Fox's Matt Napolitano. Amazon beats the street, just out with an earnings report that includes nearly $60 billion in sales for the first quarter. Overall on Wall Street, a mixed day. The Dow dropped 135, the S&P also lower, but the NASDAQ higher. Lisa Brady, this is Fox News.
Here at APL, our core values give the company its heart and soul. Whether it's connecting your business with our global network through our newly enhanced service or investing our efforts into giving back to the community, APL is committed to serving you. We humbly honor the opportunity to find innovative solutions for you and your business. To learn more about our enhanced service, call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com/Guam for more details.
In illness and in wellness, Calvo's Select Care is health care that is there for you. That's why over 80% of the Guam medical community places their trust and insures with us. We offer our members wellness and fitness programs for a healthier lifestyle and provide a comprehensive medical network on and off island to help members from unexpected illnesses. Contact Calvo's Select Care today for more information.
The University of Guam presents Tritons Out Loud. Celebrate a day of diversity on Friday, April 26th at the University of Guam Calvo Fieldhouse from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come out and experience the opening parade, food trucks, fashion and entertainment, and more.
Let's have some fun.
This event is open and free to the public. Join the first ever Diversity Day where we celebrate unity, pride, sexuality, individuality, and diversity of the Triton and Island community. Tritons Out Loud.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 7 minutes past 7 a.m. this Friday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. Captain Stephen Ignacio has been officially confirmed as chief of the Guam Police Department. Senators last night unanimously approving his confirmation after a follow-up psychological evaluation concluded that he is mentally fit for GPD's top job. Earlier in the day, the legislature's Public Safety Oversight Chair, Senator Jose Terlahi, announced that clinical psychologist Andrea Lighthizer conducted a second fitness for duty evaluation of Captain Ignacio on Wednesday. Lighthizer wrote in that second conclusion that Ignacio complied with the recommendations that she made in her initial evaluation, and as a result of his successful compliance with those recommendations, the captain is cleared, with the caveat that he continue those efforts. In her first evaluation, Lighthizer had initially concluded that Captain Ignacio was not fit from a mental health perspective. In a news release yesterday, the Public Safety Chair, Senator Terlahi, explained that Lighthizer had recommended that Captain Ignacio undergo a physical examination, which was subsequently done by Dr. Vince Akimoto, who said Ignacio was mentally and physically fit. And during yesterday's session, Senator Therese Terlahi explained that Captain Ignacio had apparently expressed concern about his ability to meet the rigorous fitness standards that all officers, including the chief, must pass next year. The Guam Police Department is asking the public's help in finding two men and a woman wanted for questioning following a string of robberies and thefts. If seen, police warn they should not be approached. They are considered armed and dangerous, according to police spokesman Sergeant Paul Tapau. The individuals have been identified as 36-year-old William Yamnang. His last known address was on Jose Sudo Street in Jonia, but he is known to frequent Maurizo. 40-year-old Xavier Anderson Tau, whose last known address was also on Jose Sudo Street, but he is known to frequent Agate. And Joanna Elena Paulino Babauta, who also lived on that same street in Jonia. Police did not reveal which robbery cases the trio are wanted for. Anyone who sees any of the individuals should call the Guam Police Department at 472-8911 or call the Guam Crime Stoppers hotline at 477-HELP. More news after this.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders here to tell you about my KFC chicken and waffles. I paired my delicious KFC extra crispy chicken with a scrumptious waffle and drizzled maple syrup over the whole thing, and well, my.
Try our new KFC chicken and waffles, now on Guam, but only for a limited time. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
GRMC's Neuroscience and Neurology Department treats a wide spectrum of disorders associated with the nervous system, spine, and brain. Some of the more common disorders include seizures, epilepsy, dementia, sleep disorders, migraine, and stroke, which is one of the leading causes of death on Guam. GRMC's neuroscience team is equipped with the latest technology and the finest neurological doctors. To make an appointment, contact GRMC specialty clinics at 645-5500.
10 minutes past 7 a.m. here at The Point. In Superior Court yesterday afternoon, Renato Capilli-Bossi was found guilty of criminal sexual conduct involving a 14-year-old girl who claimed that the pastor of her church had inappropriately touched her multiple times and harassed her with inappropriate phone calls and emails. The jury of 12 spent about an hour deliberating yesterday afternoon following the 8-day trial. Bossi was convicted of 2 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct and 2 counts of fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct, as well as child abuse. He faces a minimum of 10 years in prison. In closing arguments yesterday, Chief Prosecutor Basil O'Malley said Bossy used his position as a man of God to strike fear in his young victim, who looked to him for guidance. In his close, defense attorney Stephen Hattori described Bossy as a man of faith who devoted 40 years to his church, and multiple character witnesses testified that the former pastor was a good person, said Hattori. Following the verdict, Hattori said that his client will appeal. Bossy has repeatedly denied the allegations. His sentencing has been scheduled for July 24th. Guam consumers have been taking a beating in recent years. There's little hope for a let-up in the short term, according to the chief economist and senior vice president of the Bank of Guam, Joe Bradley, sharing his views on the global and local economy to island businesses and government leaders during a Bank of Guam-sponsored economic forum yesterday at the Dusitani. Bradley said that the past 20 years, Guam's economy has been relatively flat or grown very slowly since 1998. There have been only weak increases in the island's gross domestic product, he said. And in recent years, he said consumer prices have been rising faster than earnings. And it looks like higher energy prices are going to make things substantially worse. Consumer prices on Guam have risen 5.6% in the past 2 years alone, said Bradley, and payroll employment has shown little growth for many years while prices are rising faster than incomes. He blamed the most recent price rises in part on higher taxes. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Ray and Mike now with a look at weather.
It says here partly cloudy with isolated showers. Winds from the east up to 20 miles an hour, decreasing 10 to 15 each evening. Expected highs about 89 degrees overnight. Lows should be about 78 degrees. Sunset tonight, 6:35. That's a great way to walk into the weekend. Sunrise this morning was at 6:02. Probably going to be coming up a little bit earlier tomorrow. Watch out, fire weather watch in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. But we have had this kind of springtime, summertime weather for some time now. And my guess is that's probably going to be reissued at 8:01. Mike?
Yeah, along with those fire weather watches, we've had red flag warnings issued every single day for the past 4 days. That will likely repeat itself today as well, because as we look at the radar, we see not a whole lot out there. Maybe just a few showers getting ready to move across the central portions of the island. Hopefully some of those southern mountains can get a bit of that action. A little bit back behind it, more of it up north, but of course that's not coming this way, so we don't worry too much about that. This will all probably dry out a bit as the day goes on. We're not expecting a whole lot in the way of rainfall, and looking at the satellite picture will show us exactly why that is, and that's because there's just no clouds. There are just some low clouds in the easterly trade wind flow. You can see that moving from right to left. The stuff moving left to right is actually in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that's just kind of a wind shear effect that's down to the south there, bringing the tops of those thunderstorms back up. If that blobbage comes over us, we could have some cloudier skies, and that would help keep things a little cooler for us. But it's going to stay dry. There's no rain going to fall out of these clouds, and that's just what we're going to have for the foreseeable future.
You know, it's almost don't need to ask, but I'm going to. What are the chances for grill marks this weekend?
Oh, you're going to have great chances for grill marks. I mean, there's nothing to get in the way of grill marks.
No cloud cover, and it should be nice.
Yeah, I would be careful with your grill marks because of the intense sunshine. You may not be able to lay out there quite as long as you usually do.
You're not my mom. 7:14. That's news and weather together here on The Point.
We have some really great home loan programs, but did you know we have great business loans too? Every day we're working with companies to purchase equipment, to buy or build properties, or make tenant improvements. We offer letters of credit, working capital, and term loans, and we make all of our credit decisions here. Commercial loans, commercial banking from Bank Pacific.
Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Viva Bank Pacific.
Portions of the program brought to you by, there's this whole long list of people that are supporters of the morning show here. American President Lines, where they're shipping the future. Micronesia Renewable Energy. And King's Restaurant, where they've got that crazy 19 menu. And you might be, where's the 19 come from? Well, it's 2019. They intend to be crazy all year long. So your favorites of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, always open, always available for you, because they know that you're always hungry at King's.
This is Ronnie. Ronnie is about to break his piggy bank. Come on, piggy bank.
Ronnie wants to upgrade his smartphone.
And this piggy's gonna help me.
If Ronnie had signed up for GTA's handset payment option, he could have selected a new smartphone with an affordable monthly plan.
I could have what?
Exactly. Sign up for HBO at GTA and don't break the bank.
I'm sorry, piggy bank.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit gta.net for more information. GTA.
Portions of the program also brought to you by Guam Regional Medical City, the first choice for all of your specialty care needs. You need a specialty ride, maybe something peculiar for your work. You talk to the guys over at Cars Plus. I mean, they can get you any kind of ride that you're looking at, big trucks and little cars and things that go vroom vroom. But maybe you need something specific for your line of business. Well, Jan and Joey and Dunge would be happy to tell you about it. Ask about the Gladiator from Jeep when you go to Cars Plus. Also being brought to you by Wendy's North Pacific Cod Filet meal. It's the whole thing. It's the salad. It's the sandwich. It is also a honest green tea that you're going to enjoy. Just washes everything down. That is what's available for you at Wendy's.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I'm stretching out because I still got that little crick in my neck because I haven't gone to a masseuse yet to get that knot taken out. And if you're a chiropractor and you want to come and give me an adjustment live on television, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay. Oh, look, it's Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden. It's slow Joe behind me. Do you feel it? Can you feel it back there? It's right. It's over here. It's connected to my neck, so when I arch my neck over that way, then it pulls something up and it hurts. But that's feeling good. Jerry Roberts in the studio for the extra point. I'm going to let him keep doing that.
I just do everything.
Like I said, I just get this weird, creepy Joe Biden moment here. Where's the markets? Where's the numbers on the markets? I found it. S&P 500 at 229.26. That's off by a point or so. Thanks, boss. Nasdaq was in the green last time I looked at it. It's refreshing now. So let me get you the absolute latest numbers from the markets. It's more of that old man noise that you got to get used to. Is this like this? I imagine this is what it sounds like at the Friary around this time of day. You get all these guys.
Wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either. I've never been that sinless to go and hang out with those guys. Anyway, Nasdaq at 81.18. That's up by about 16 points. Dow Jones Industrial Average off by 134 points. And before you go, oh my God, 134 points. It's only 0.5%. Still at 26,462. What's the big drag on the market today? It's going to be Facebook. They're lining up for a fight and have put a whole bunch of money aside not that long ago. Taking a look at the commodities, gold at $12.79. That's off by 40 cents. If you're buying West Texas, it's $65.11. That's off about 78 cents from where it was yesterday. So I don't know if that's enough to call it volatile trading, but it's nice to see that number going backwards. Unfortunately, the number for Tapas, which is associated with the kind of oil that is used to make the kind of gasoline that all of us buy here on Guam, that number's gone up. $77.68 for a barrel of Tapas. $77.41 yesterday, so up by almost 20 cents in trading for Tapas. I'm not going to say what is in my head because I think you've already got an idea. If you are near E, and when I say in these terms near E, I'm thinking anything less than half a tank might be worth going to the gas station, buying it while it's still, $4.35 for a gallon before the numbers go up. I got a feeling they're moving in that direction. So that's where we get to go. A couple of businessy things that you might be interested this morning. Had the opportunity to hang out with a bunch of really cool people at the launch party for an app called Connect. And the way it works is if you've got a product or a service that you would like people to know about, you can go on the app and then say, okay, I'm good at making decks for backyards. I'm a construction guy, and I know how to do decks, and I know how to do cabinets, and I know how to do tile. And if that's you, then you go to Connect and let people know that you know how to do that. The other side of the equation is on my side, where I'm going, I need somebody to come in and do some cabinetry. I need somebody to do some tile. I need somebody to build me a deck out in the backyard. And the idea is you get together. And I want to say there's a little bit of vetting that goes on either side, so almost like an Uber thing or a Lyft thing. So you know that the person that you're dealing with is not a fly-by-night guy.
If there's vetting going on, is there also compensation going on?
I believe that Connect probably takes a kiss, just a finding fee, commission on either side, like any other headhunting deal.
If there is a transaction,
yeah,
they get a little piece of that.
That's the way I would have built the model. But if you're interested, go to Connect, and thanks Patrice and everybody for throwing a great party last night. It was very, very well attended, and I think a lot of people. You know what I liked was the swag. They had some great swag, and I should have brought some with me this morning. They had multicolored Connect cups. Which was real nice, plastic cups for the wines and the beers that they were doing last night. But they also had a thing, and what happened is they started handing these things out to some of the people that stayed through the speeches and all of that stuff, right? And it's a little kind of plastic device that you can use to stand for charging your phone. Or you can lay the phone down, and you can use that to watch your phone. For those of you that are watching Netflix and Hulu's and things like that, about the right size for an airplane tray table, right? Really, really nice. But everybody else, was grabbing these things 2 by 2 and making them look like boobies, holding them up to their chest. I've got pictures, but it's rather incriminating. So I might not post any of those just yet. You'll have to use your imagination. But congratulations to the Connect people out there. And again, I'm going to make this point here because I thought it was such a great business model a few years ago. The government of Guam will occasionally have a surplus sale, a garage sale, right? And they've got one coming up on May the 9th. Sedans and vans and trucks and cranes and scrap vehicles, buses, computers, scrap metal, all kinds of other stuff will be up for grabs, pennies on the dollars. And I was telling the story about a family from Central Guam that took advantage of the situation, bought a whole bunch of vehicles that the government had deemed, not beyond economical repair. Well, they bought them, repaired them, and then leased them back to the government of Guam.
Is that right?
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now that's my friends, is the model. You can start looking at the vehicles. You can start inspecting them on Monday, and you've got until the 8th to make a decision on how you're going to screw the government out of some money just like that. It's 7:22. Jake Ufudi, Batman's in the studio. How you doing?
I'm good this morning.
What's the plan for
I'm better after that story.
Isn't it great? It's invisible hand, man. That's what happens when you pray at the altar of commerce. Got a big plan for the weekend?
I have to ask my wife. I'm not sure.
Asthma? That's what it's called. I've got asthma. I have to ask my wife. Gotcha. Okay. All right, 7:20. We'll talk about stuff a little bit more on the other side of today's Extra Point. Brought to you by Guahan Insurance Services and First Hawaiian Bank, where it all starts with yes.
Everybody wants to be more productive. We look for ways to optimize our time and maximize our efforts. But how far would you go to do this? Today we get a little bit extreme and see if you want to go along for the ride. That's next on the Extra Point.
It's important to have claims process that works for you. At Guahan Insurance Services, we make things simple and convenient. Same door you walk in to purchase your insurance is the same door you open to file your claim. We can't pretend that the car insurance claims process is fun, but we can promise a hassle-free and speedy recovery without any runarounds. For your home, auto, and business insurance, visit us at the Camacho Landmark Center on Marine Corps Drive in Tamuning. Don't forget to like us on Facebook or give us a call at 475-1162 or text 929-SAVE. That's 929-7283.
Hey, are you ready to afford the good life? For example, cooking in a gourmet kitchen that is as amazing as your skills. Or how about paying off tuition? Or maybe expanding your home to make room for your parents. Live beyond your dreams, within your means, with a low-rate home equity line of credit from First Hawaiian Bank. To learn more or to apply, visit any branch or FHB.com. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The late Steve Jobs of Apple wore the same clothes every day, a black turtleneck and blue jeans. Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg is the same, a gray t-shirt or hoodie and jeans. Now, who else does that? Former President Barack Obama. He wore the same color suits all the time, and he said this: "You'll see I wear only gray or blue suits. I'm trying to pare down decisions. I don't want to make decisions about what I'm eating or wearing because I have too many other decisions to make." Obama cited research that shows the simple act of making decisions degrades one's ability to make further decisions. Could that be right? Are you familiar with the term routinizing? routinizing. It means to reduce something to a regular procedure. Therefore, you don't have to spend time choosing. What's it got to do with higher productivity? I promised you we'd get a little extreme, and here we go. I caught a story online of a guy who believed in this concept and set out to align his life accordingly. He bought a half-dozen copies of the same outfit, choosing fabrics that would look good coming out of the dryer, no ironing needed. 3 pairs of the same shoes. That took care of his wardrobe. He figured he saved an hour to 2 hours a week not having to choose what to wear or to iron anything. He didn't eat the same things at each meal, but he routinized this, too. His nearby grocery store offered fresh food for takeout. He made a deal with them to pack 6 meals for him at a time, 3 days' worth of food. They'd label them Monday a.m., Monday p.m., for example, and all he had to do was pick them up twice a week and put them into the refrigerator, then eat them. He only needed 6 days' worth because he fasted on Sundays. He said he even saved money on his food bill because he didn't buy items he didn't need. That was good. But it was the savings in time that meant more. No shopping and no food prep saved him about 5 hours per week. The idea is to pack your life with repeatable sequences with predictable outcomes, doing all you can to eliminate choices as much as possible. Does it sound boring? Maybe dreadful? The people who swear by routinizing say it makes them more effective and improves the quality of life. They say it allows them to direct their energy to the areas where they can make the greatest difference, to what really matters. Former Navy SEAL Jocko Willink agrees, saying, discipline equals freedom. Routinizing gets rid of our impulsive behavior. Our urges no longer control us. As the saying goes, the devil is in the details, and routinizing kicks the devil out. We get rid of as many small things in our daily schedule as we can and put the full power of our minds on the important things we say we want. So, is this crazy or crazy smart? What if you could make a few changes and add 10 productive hours to your week, maybe 500 productive hours to your year, every year? Could that make a difference in your life? If so, what changes would you make? That's the extra point. Get out there and make something different happen today. For 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show, Guahan Insurance Services, and First Hawaiian Bank. I'm Jerry Roberts.
I'll give you an easy place to start.
Here we go.
All right. I wear one kind of sock on a Monday through Friday basis.
Okay.
It is a pair of black socks. I bought multiple pairs of identical black socks from Kmart last year. And that's all I wear. So I don't have to, when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, I just reach in there and grab a bundle of socks. When I'm doing the laundry, when I'm folding the clothes after the laundry is done, I don't have to match the socks. I just pick up one, it's the left, and another one. They're identical. You bundle them up and you're finished.
I like it.
It's an easy time saving, and it's an easy time saving device. Other thing is like the guy was saying, the fellow you're referring to, buy clothes that you don't have to iron.
Don't have to iron, and there are fabrics like that look pretty good coming right out of the dryer.
Right out of the dryer, yep.
So,
but a lot of the shirts, so usually every other Sunday or so there's ironing going on at the house.
Yeah.
And I just take the ironing board out there and put some tunes on, put the radio station on Boss, and just start ironing for an hour or so and get another 10 shirts in the closet, and that's it.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, if you have a system, maybe you don't have to get so extreme.
Yeah.
But you know the food thing? I remember the food story because I did something like that. Not exactly what the guy was talking about with the grocery store, and they labeled them for me and packed them. But every grocery store back in the mainland pretty much has a fresh food takeout thing now. It's a big profit center. So I lived between a Ralph's and a Safeway and a Trader Joe's, and there was a thing called Mrs. Gooch's, which was a big, hoity-toity vegetarian grocery store or whatever, organic grocery store in L.A. Well, I would go there, and I would go to all these takeout counters because I wasn't going to cook this for me.
Sure.
So why should I mess with that? So I would buy all these foods and things, and then in the refrigerator kind of graze through all those things for my meals, right? But this guy took it to an extreme. I mean, he had these styrofoam containers and all that, just labeled with the dates on them, picked them up twice a week. All he had to do was eat. I mean, it was just, I thought,
get in there and do it.
That kind of makes sense to me. As I'm writing this thing yesterday, I'm thinking, I think maybe I'm gonna think about some of these things.
Yeah, and the idea of maybe doing it as a business.
I don't know.
There's somewhere as an entrepreneur that says that's a great idea. That's a service that I could sell to somebody. One less decision. Yeah, routinizing their lives for them. That's fun stuff. 7:30 in the morning. That's Jerry Roberts. Who's if you want to know what he's going to be doing this weekend, ask the missus and any missus. I think his answer is going to be the same. There's going to be chores. We're going to church. There's going to be and maybe some ironing is in there as well. Ed and Karen Untalan and who else is online? I think we got all the big brains over at First Hawaiian, Barbie Agahan and Ed and Karen Untalan, where it all starts with, yes, also sponsors of the Extra Point as Guahan Insurance as well. Time for headlines from the Guam Daily Post. Here's Kevin Kerrigan.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. And the headlines from the Guam Daily Post this morning. The chairman of the Consolidated Commission on Utilities, Joey Duenas, says he's taking responsibility for the bonuses and pay raises the CCU approved for GWA and GPA executives behind closed doors last November. Attorney General Levin Camacho on Tuesday informed Duenas in a letter that approval of the raises and bonuses by the CCU during that closed-door meeting violated the open government law. As a result, he informed Duenas that the salary adjustments are void and must be paid back by the employees who receive them. Duenas said it was his responsibility as chairman, and he should have done a better job of ensuring that the salary adjustments were discussed during the open session portion of the meeting. Duenas said that the utility company's lawyers are reviewing their procedures now to comply with the Attorney General's directive. Those lawyers were among the executives whose salary increases were approved during that closed-door meeting. Bob Klitsky, the host of the Tall Tales radio program here on The Point, was the first to point out the open government law violation last week following a report in the Guam Daily Post about the salary increases and bonuses. Senators last night unanimously confirmed key cabinet nominees, including Stephen Ignacio, who was confirmed chief of the Guam Police Department after a second psych evaluation pronounced him fit for duty. Colonel Esther Agagi was also confirmed as the director of the Department of Military Affairs and the Adjutant General of the Guam National Guard. She is the first woman to lead the Guam Guard. Also confirmed were Samantha Brennan as director of the Department of Corrections, Lester Carlson as director of the Bureau of Budget and Management Research, and Ignacio Paredo as director of the Guam Customs and Quarantine Agency. The first phase of construction for a new Simon Sanchez High School is now underway. At a news conference yesterday afternoon at the school, Guam DOE Superintendent John Fernandez announced that the $95,000 contract for surveying the school has been awarded to Duenas, Camacho, and Associates. That is the first phase of the rebuilding project. It's scheduled to be done in 120 days. The subsequent construction phases will be bid out separately in the hopes of avoiding procurement protests, which have stalled efforts to rebuild that school in the past. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
Will do. At 7:33, that's iConnect time. They've got incredible deals for you on push-to-talk mobile and internet plans at iConnect. Learn about them by calling 888-8888.
Do you know someone who has difficulty following conversation in noisy places or turns up the TV a little too loud? These may be signs of a hearing loss. Ross Hearing Aids specializes in hearing evaluations, custom-fit hearing aids using the latest in wireless digital technology, and custom-fit hearing protectors. Call Ross Hearing Aids today to schedule a complimentary hearing consultation. 637-HEAR, 637-HEAR. Ross Hearing Aids, located across Shirley's in Harmon.
Traffic Gizmo time. Let's see, is there something in the Traffic Gizmo that I need to let you know about? 888-8255. WhatsApp it if you see something that I need to pass along to the other viewers and listeners. 988-5874 for that. Wow, that looks busy. Let me just eyeball this here. What do you got? Traffic into Anderson Air Force Base. Okay. Traffic southbound Marine Corps Drive just before you get to Isangson. Not so okay. Expect some delays as you make your way through there. Just a lot of traffic. Route 3 is busy, making if you're headed towards the intersection of 1 and 3. That intersection is actually running clear. It's just traffic on 3 for people trying to get out of that part of Dededo. Marine Corps Drive going to be okay as usual at this time, right up until you get to St. John's. It'll open up a little bit more. You might see a little bit of congestion over by Kmart. Route 8 looking very, very busy from the intersection intersection of 8, 10, and 16 all the way in. Look, if there's an intersection or where they're planning to put an intersection over by Carbolito, expect some slowdowns in traffic. That looks like the busiest stretch of roadway we've got going for you right now. 10 and 15 busy, as you might imagine this morning. Route 10 in the usual spots near the University, Payless, Bank of Guam area getting busy. Route 4, not so terrible, and starting to get ugly in front of Big Navy in Sumai. I know it's a lot of traffic, but it's a whole lot of Friday driving going on. 7:35, right now traffic on the point.
Attention homeowners, MRE solar energy systems now come with battery storage for zero money down. This means that your home will have power even when the island power isn't available, like during power outages or during and after storms. The inconvenience of not having power for your home is a thing of the past. It's solar with battery storage exclusively by Micronesia Renewable Energy. Don't be left in the dark. Call 632-2613 for a free consultation. MRE, the smarter choice.
Commentary on illegal pay raises continues. Ken LG online says, so Joey Duenas has taken responsibility for the raises. Falling on the sword is what we call that. Does that mean he plans to raise the salary raises again in open session and pass them in public session, regardless of the concerns by the public that management is overpaid? My guess is, yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to say, all right, fine, look, sorry, and we got to pay the money back. And then we'll have another conversation in a public noticed session of the Consolidated Commission on Utilities with the utilities, and then somebody is going to make a motion that they reinstitute the pay raises. Guaranteed that's going to happen. Now, if you've got serious problems with the level of compensation that Miguel and JB and others in the utilities had been gifted back last year in 2018, then now would be the appropriate time to speak up and say so. This might not be the appropriate venue to do it. If you want to, you can. But I got a feeling that that's going to be coming up. So if you've got any serious heartaches about how much these guys are getting paid vis-a-vis what you believe their level of performance is, or the utilities' performance, it's time for you as ratepayers to begin to speak up. There's some other interesting quotes in the Guam Daily Post to get to in a second, but I want to get John on the line. Is it John? It's Bill, right? Hey, Bill. Good morning. William, you're on. Okay, we're going to do that with him. And Mike, you can find him and wake him up while I'm taking a look at some of the other stories in today's Guam Daily Post that I thought were interesting. As I said, a great quote from Joey Duenas on the subject of the pay raises. He says he will contact the Attorney General again after the consultation process with GPA and GWA attorneys. And the attorneys received raises from the same board decision. Yeah, check with those guys. Wonder what they're going to say. This was my fault as the chairman because I should have done a better job of chairing the meeting. The open government law allows the CCU to hold closed-door meetings to discuss employment, but his mistake was not stopping the executive session to go back into a public discussion when salaries were being discussed, Duenas added. But personnel evaluations discussed during executive sessions remain private. He said the AG's office filed charges about 2 years ago against former GURA board members for allegedly holding secret meetings to publicly discuss issues, that should be publicly discussed. That's a quote there from the Guam Daily Post from Joey Duenas. I'm sorry. Ma'asi, mea culpa. I should have done a better job, and that's all there is to that. And so, you know, is that sufficient for everybody? You got the apology from Joey, and a note from the Attorney General's office that the raises, bonuses, etc., are void from the very beginning. Ab initio, I think, is the words that we learned yesterday from Bob Klitsky. There's another interesting quote in today's Guam Daily Post, also page 4. GIAA nominee. Hard, cold facts ignored. And I guess there was a little bit of the community. Kevin, did you get a copy of the letter that Dan sent to the governor?
I did.
You
Yes,
did?
that's what the story is based on.
The basis of this story is the letter where it expresses his concern. The legislative body has been misused by people who are conflicted. As a result, the legislative process has been hijacked by those who appeal to fear and prejudice for their own political purposes. And then the story goes on to tell the story of how all kinds of people come out and love Dan Tedinko, and a handful of people come out and had some real interesting things to say out in the public hearings for his confirmation. Then it goes on, like in this part here, this is the interesting part, it goes on to quote Tilena Nelson at the legislature, who had removed, I think it was her that removed him from consideration in the process.
Decided not to release it from her committee.
From the committee, there we go. She said, I welcome Governor Leon Guerrero's appointment of Doyon Morato and believe she will conduct herself with maturity and humility this process demands. As for the former nominee, I wish him a blessed Easter season and the grace of God's love. Isn't that the same thing that the governor's office last year said about Troy Torres? Wish him a happy holiday season and the grace of God's love at this time of giving. That's not, I'm wondering how much God approves of everybody just tossing him around in some of these stories. I bet even God goes, hey, leave me out of it. Leave me out of it. I got other stuff to take care of. 888-825-5888-TALK. But wait, there's more. There's more out there. Did we get to Bill? Are you there? Did you find the phone? Bill.
Yes.
Hi, good morning. Off a day.
Off a day. I was calling in regards to there's some basketball courts right outside of Paradise Estates, the main entrance, that I've called the deputy mayor's office about 6 to 8 times for the past about a month and a half, and they keep on saying we'll tell the mayor's office, the vice mayor, that it needs cleaned up. The backboards on both of them are thrashed, and half the court the kids can play on, and the other half there's glass all over.
Huh.
And if the kids go on it, they're going to get bloody and all that.
Yeah. Now, this over by Paradise Estates, you said?
Yeah, right there on White Pow Pow Road.
Sure. Huh. And so you're not getting any satisfaction out of the mayor's office?
Correct, yeah.
Huh. I wonder if that has been adopted by anybody. Well, let me see what we can find out. We know how to get a hold of the mayor, and I'll put that on the list of things to talk. Frankly, if I was to get Melissa Savaris on the line, I wanted to find out how many vendor packets got picked up for the carnival for food providers and entertainers and things like that. But I'll add this to the list. Any chance there might be a civic group out there that you might be able to encourage to go and help clean the place up and get some repairs going?
I'm not sure about that, but there's a lot of kids that want to play full court on that thing.
No, I agree, and sometimes it might be faster. I'll give you a piece of advice here. Between the gas companies and the telecom companies and the shipping companies, they all have outfits inside of them that are responsible for doing some community service type deals, right? So you might want to get a hold of them and say, hey, guys over at IT&E or somebody over at APL, maybe this is something that you might want to come in, have your employees do a quick cleanup, maybe fix the lights, fix the backboards and the nets and stuff like that. And and you can stick a sign on the deal. And if the mayor gives you a hard time about sticking the sign up, say, well, you had a chance to fix it up and you blew it.
Right. Okay.
So I mean, sometimes it's as simple as a phone call and just talk to whoever's in charge of their community affairs.
Cool.
All right.
Trey.
Hey, no problem. Have a good Friday. What do you got planned for the weekend?
Actually working.
You're actually working. Okay, well, bring us along while you're actually working. We got great programs to listen to even on the weekend.
All right, man.
I'll see you. I certainly will, Bill, and hope you get some time to go and watch the Avengers. Apparently, apparently there's a couple of people online that are saying I should be talking more about the Avengers, and I can't because I wasn't a Marvel guy growing up. It's not that big of a deal to me, guys, about the Avengers thing, and I haven't got plans to. I could have watched one of the Avengers movies on Netflix yesterday, and said no, that's okay. Uncle Robert, I see you there. Coming your way after a couple of minutes with Angel Sublime. If you don't mind. Hit.
Alpha Ramon, good morning.
Dude, you've been busy, haven't you? I've been able to get a hold of you all week.
Yeah, we've been trying to get these things on the concessions and other stuff done. So
Yeah. So about the vendor packets, did you get a lot of vendor interest last weekend? Did you have as many as you wanted?
well, we don't have as many as we wanted. We've got quite a few, but some of them actually are holding back to just see what happens with this gaming stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
A commitment to join and not join. Yeah,
That's what I thought was going to happen, and right now I know that the legislation is before the legislature, but of course it hasn't had a public hearing on the upsides and downsides of the different rules that you and the committee have put together. So I don't know when they're going to be able to attack that. As far as I know, there's no session, no legislative activities planned for today, so it might have to wait until next month. Will that give you enough time?
well, it's actually really going against the clock, but we'll respect the process, and that's how they're going through with it. And there's a public hearing on Monday. We understand that there's going to be session next week. To deal with some of the bills that they do still have on the docket, but hopefully they can act on it then. If not, then we're just going to have to wait and see what happens by the end of May. And if it doesn't happen, then it won't happen this year.
Roger that. All right. Well, good luck. Have a good weekend, Angel. Go watch Avengers.
Okay, brother. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Because for each Avenger, this is what we should do. We should have some fun with this. For each Avenger, we'll assign a village on Guam. This would be like an Iron Man village, and a Hulk village. Which village? Which superhero would you like for your village? Think about that. Ponder it. 888-8255-888-TALK. And as we do,
it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
Right on.
Could you be mine?
And my favorite neighbor, my Uncle Robert Underwood, a retiree in the system, and I want to make sure that he's always got something to do, and that's why I call him at least once a week and just say, hey, Uncle Robert, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and it's really been great because Auntie Narissa has been back now for a few days.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're eating again.
yeah, eating good again.
There we go.
No more frozen food.
there's something about that section over at Cost You Less, isn't it? Where you can get all this. I got every kind of Hot Pocket and White Castle in the freezer, and that's all I need.
Yeah, that's right.
I got you. Well, as usual, what I wanted to do here is go over a few of the topics that we've got laying around on the headlines, and see if I can get the Underwood perspective on some of these things to help drive the rest of the conversation for today. May I begin?
Sure. And this is totally unrehearsed, so people need to know.
Unrehearsed, unscripted. He didn't know any of this is coming. But if you listen to the program over the course of the week, you get kind of an idea of some of the topics that are out there. Like right here, number one topic for this week, I think, was the now illegal pay raises at GWA and GPA. So what do you think about all of that? How's that? Is that going to continue to end in tears?
Well, clearly they were illegal, and I'm glad that Joey Duenas took it on, and he took the responsibility. Unlike some others in the previous administration that kind of hemmed and hawed until they were kind of hauled in front of the public for a few days before they took responsibility. But so this is but of course, they're going to end up doing the pay raises anyway.
Right.
Do it in public.
No, you brought up the last administration, and it occurs to me that in the last administration, they had given out the pay raises, and that the pay raises were then deemed illegal. The administration then wrote additional checks to these guys so that they could pay the money back. Do you remember?
Yeah. It was quite a convoluted plan.
Yeah, and
I don't think Joey Duenas is going to do that because it was unusual for someone to just take it that way. So yes. I'm glad he did. But of course, what I'm concerned about is why are they giving the legal counsels bonuses?
Well, and they should not
giving them advice on how to proceed,
which is exactly one of the concerns. Wait a second, these are exactly the people who should have said, "Hold on, Joey, before we go any further, open government law, bang."
That's right. So that's a source of concern. We'll see whether they can get the same bonus.
No, that's right. We'll give them the bonuses back so that they can repay what the government gave them. And that, my friends, is why B.J. Cruz had said for as many years as he did, Antelope is where math goes to die. Which I absolutely love. You know, one of the other big stories that we were treated to over the weekend, and I guess it'll be official next week, is it's the end of the solid waste receiver for our solid waste management around here. Now, there's the GSWA music because we're doing the shuffle now. How will that end out? Do you suppose? Are they going to be able to pick up where GBB left off and be able to continue to maintain our state of the art solid waste system, or is this are we going to go back to 2006 and 2007 and just lousy vehicles and inconsistent service?
I certainly hope not. And, I mean, it is good news for the government of Guam, and it's good news for the ratepayers. And I like your Sanford and Son music in the background because Sanford and Son may go back into the junkyard business now. But the issue, of course, is a larger one, which is, what are we going to do with our waste? We're literally drowning in our waste, and we're already going to pay for more cells going into the landfill. Yep. And that's I don't think people quite understand the impact of waste, not just on it being unsightly and being thrown on the side of the road. It's just the whole idea of what we do with waste. And China is now wealthy enough, so they don't need our recycled stuff anymore. Yep. So where are we going next?
Well, you know how I feel about waste energy.
Well, I obviously that has to be entertained. It obviously has to be entertained, but it can't be the same waste to energy plan from 20 years ago.
No, it certainly can, and it certainly has to be something that is scalable to what we can do, and the access to the materials that we've got. A lot of people think that we generate a lot of trash. Well, when you start burning it as quickly as we will for waste to energy, I think we'll go through the stores fairly quickly on what we got. We might have to be in one of those places where we net import trash to support the burning.
Well, that's a separate issue. And
no, it certainly is. But
But really, the issue is, of course, we could go from waste to energy. But really, as people who live our lives on a daily, what do we do with our trash? Why are we generating so much trash? This is our relationship to the things that we create. We assume that someone else is going to take care of it. And if they make us pay $50 a month, I'll be happy to pay $50 a month because they can take care of it. That's not a real solution.
No, it's not. Well, it starts with the consumerism, and I'm trying to get myself into a habit of questioning every purchase that I make with a view of what am I going to do with this box? What will I do with this plastic container that this gizmo comes in? And frankly, is it something I can leave at the store? And I've begun to do that where I bought. I bought a tool a couple of weeks ago, and it came in a cardboard box. And before I left the Home Depot, I took it out of the box and said, "You do it. You deal with this. I don't want to have to take this home."
Yeah, and we're going to end your love affair with plastic bags, Ray.
They've done it in New York City. I understand that now is an actual citywide ban on plastic bags. I don't have a problem with living without plastic bags, and it's another one of those things where I try to at least give it a second or third use before it goes into the trash.
Right.
Yeah. So when I go hiking, there's always a plastic bag that I carry, clean clothes in so that I can change out of my dirty hiking clothes. If I go to the beach, I always bring a plastic bag with me so that I can pick up trash while I'm there, in at least my little area. So.
And these people walking their dogs, I'm glad to see them have plastic bags, too.
Yeah, because I don't want to step on that stuff. All right, a couple of other topics before I let you go back to being my retired Uncle Robert Underwood here. We're now well past 100 days of the Leon Guerrero administration, and I wanted to get your thoughts on that and how you think she's done in the first 100 days, and what do you think is going to be happening for the course of the rest of the year?
Well, I think the main issue has been really communicating their intent, and that still, to me, remain. I'm not sure what their policies are. I still have yet to see what their main initiatives are. I understand that, we're going to open up the pool. We're going to build Simon Sanchez. we're going to do the things that we should be doing. But what is it about this administration that's going to be qualitatively different? And that's what has yet to be communicated. And so we have, I don't know what those initiatives are. And I pay pretty close attention. So I'm glad that that all the people who are working in the cabinet are busy and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I'm yet to see the real big initiatives, and they don't have to be a large number. Just give us the 3 or 4 things against which we can measure this administration, and that has not been communicated.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we could figure out ways to get the cost of living down and the cost of life on on the island of the government of Guam, and make it so that it's a little bit easier for folks to get along. I mean, I worry about you because I know you're a retiree and you've got that fixed income now.
That's right. Well, don't worry about me too.
No, he's 18 annuities. The guy walks into the bank with a wheelbarrow full of checks from all the places he's retired from. I think overall, I'm waiting for them to open up the Susan B. Anthony and Ruth Bader Ginsburg male re-education centers. I think that's the next thing coming up with this.
Well, there is a lot of celebration about women. The future's some allow, and I'm all behind that. That's great. But, my past has been some allowed one, too. That's what I keep telling people. I said, well, the future is some allowed, but my past has been some allowed one, too. So.
I saw Pika Farron wearing that shirt yesterday. I think you're right. Maybe they ought to come out with another one. Our past is from allowed. Now, this one here is going to be a little bit serious. And I'm no doubt you have seen the video. It went viral. It was a part of the newscast that we had in the last few days of a lady that was haranguing some youth, and then the youth haranguing her back, and it ended up with a bunch of kids chasing her around Matapeng Beach. Never a more fitting use of the word Matapeng in this case, but chasing her around Matapeng Beach, and I guess assault charges filed in one or the other direction. What do you that doesn't speak well for any of us, I think. The way we're raising our kids and the way we're treating outsiders, the way outsiders think they can talk to us. What were your thoughts on that?
Obviously, that kind of behavior is not acceptable. But I have also a concern about videos that go viral, because videos are just a little snapshot of something. We're never quite sure about the whole thing about it. And so, these videos that have gone viral inside the schools, inside the Guam Department of Education, I'm not sure. What is the policy on how we use these as evidence of something, and how we treat them for the news media? So, because people, people can stage, this one is not staged, but people can stage. I saw another one, which I was trying to figure out whether this one was staged or not. It featured some young woman going on a rant, and I was trying to figure that out, whether that was staged or not. But this speaks to, like, we're in a new level of communication, and we don't know what to do with the ease of recording something and how we treat it and how we use it as news, and more importantly, how we use it for disciplinary reasons and for legal reasons. And we haven't quite caught up to that yet. But the individuals involved in there was a little arrogance on that person's part, but the arrogance doesn't deserve a punch in the nose.
No, you're right. And like I said, I worry about what that says about everybody's state of freaking outedness, where every little thing is going to set people off. Last thing, and I had the pleasure yesterday of having a couple of guys in the studio. One of them a scientist and environmental scientist at that, part of the 5 Deeps Challenge, Rob McCallum from, and if you recognize the accent, he is a Kiwi, and he is the overall planner for this 5 Deeps Challenge, and brought in a guy named Don Walsh. And you were around when Don Walsh and another fellow were the first to go down to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. And I wanted to see if you had any memories of that going back to 1960.
Well, I was only 12 years old and I wasn't paying attention. But I remember there was a widespread media coverage of it.
Sure.
Documentaries made of it. As always, the immediate thought that comes to mind is that one is that the way we view that kind of expedition and the way the Chinese view that kind of expedition. Because when Cameron went down to the bottom, recently.
Mm-hmm.
The Chinese followed up within a month, but they only went down about 3/4 of the way because they weren't interested in going to the bottom. They were interested in finding out what resources there are down there.
There's something worth considering. Is what's the point of getting down there?
That's just a kind of like, is this a point of scientific inquiry for its own purpose, or is it a kind of a voyage of exploration, personal exploration, or is it really something that we can use for our future lives as humans?
I think in this case, it's just a guy that says, I've been to the world's tallest peaks, and now I want to go to its deepest points, and he's got the money to be able to afford that kind of hobby, and hired up all the right guys.
Yeah, and he put the big G on his craft. So.
Smart guy, the big G is right there. Hey, listen, I got to let you go, Uncle Robert. I'll talk to you pretty soon.
One more point. If I could just give you one point.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un is now the biggest. He's not only the worst dictator in the world, he's the biggest slut, because we don't know whether he's in love with Donald Trump or Vladimir Putin.
Something to ponder, and now I'll never look at his picture the same way again.
He's playing both of them for suckers. I just think this guy is probably a lot more clever than we give him credit for.
Well, I think he needs to crawl back into bed with the Chinese too and get a foursome going. Listen, I got to break away. I got Fox News. I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Watch Avengers. It's time for Fox News Live. Kevin Kerrigan with Guam News on the other side of that.
The specifics of that, prosecutors are also likely to challenge it, Lisa.
Thanks, Gernal. A Fox News alert now. And a quarantine has been issued at 2 Los Angeles universities for students and staff who may have been exposed to measles. UCLA says 119 students and 8 faculty members under quarantine. The number under quarantine at Cal State not yet known. Former Vice President Joe Biden now in Philadelphia for a private fundraiser after announcing via video this morning he's running for president.
The core values of this nation, our standing in the world, our very democracy, everything that has made America, America is at stake.
Biden becomes the 20th Democrat to enter the race. North Korea billed the U.S. $2 million in 2017 for the care of Otto Warmbier while he was being held there.
Joseph Yoon, who is the State Department representative for North Korea on behalf of the United States, was told that if he didn't sign a promissory note to pay the money back, that Otto Warmbier would not be released. We are told by sources that not a dime of that $2 million has been paid.
Fox's John Roberts at the White House. This is Fox News.
Docomo Pacific's all-new business bundles provide tailored solutions to help your business become a better business. Choose from our Business Basic, Essential, or Value bundles and get unlimited talk and text, worry-free data at home and abroad, plus access to the fastest online speeds in the Marianas. Add on mobile or broadband lines and save up to 20% for each line. Email businesssales@docomopacific.com to find out which bundle provides the best solution for your business. Terms and conditions apply.
Attention homeowners, if you don't have a solar energy system on your roof from Micronesia Renewable Energy, now is the time to get one. MRE solar energy systems now come with battery storage for zero money down. This means that your home will have power even when the island power isn't available, like during power outages or during and after storms. The inconvenience of not having power for your home is a thing of the past. Don't be left in the dark. Call 632-2613 for a free consultation. MRE, the smarter choice.
Police in Silicon Valley continue to look for a motive in an attack on pedestrians that hurt 8 people.
Police in Sunnyvale, California are hoping the driver's computer may shed some light or the results of blood tests that could indicate possible impairment. The suspect, identified as 34-year-old Isaiah Peoples. Police say he has no criminal record, no known ties to organized terrorist groups, and that he didn't know any of the people he struck. His family describes Peoples as a quiet, church-going man who'd never hurt anyone on purpose, adding the Iraq war vet suffers from PTSD and suspect that may have played a role. On Friday, he'll be arraigned on 8 counts of attempted murder. In Sunnyvale, California, Claudia Cowan, Fox News.
11 firefighters and 3 police officers among the 37 people hospitalized due to an ammonia leak in a northern Chicago suburb. The National Football League teaming up with a social media company as part of tonight's draft.
The National Football League teaming up with Instagram for a digital shopping experience during the draft. Draftees will be photographed backstage wearing New Era Draft Day hats. Images will be shared to the NFL's Instagram account along with shopping tags, taking fans to the NFL's online shop where they can buy the caps. A marketing executive for the league says the idea is to drive engagement and excitement about the players, creating a shoppable moment. The effort comes after Instagram recently rolled out its checkout service, allowing merchants to sell through the platform. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
A 400-year-old Bible found in the Netherlands is now back in the U.S. It was among more than 300 rare books discovered missing from the Carnegie Library last year. A former archivist and book dealer accused of stealing more than $8 million worth of those books. Authorities say the Bible was similar to one that was brought over on the Mayflower. I'm Lisa Lacera, and this is Fox News.
Hey, it's Mom. Somebody forgot to thaw the chicken, so meet us at Chili's for 2 for $25. Oh, and congratulate your sister for making the basketball team. She's thrilled. Love you. See you at Chili's.
Enjoy 2 full meal combos for $25. An appetizer, 2 mouth-watering entrees like our crispy chicken breast, smoked barbecue quarter leg, or smoked jalapeno cheddar sausage. Served with corn on the cob and french fries. 2 bold combos for $25. A full-on meal deal available nightly for a limited time. Together, we Chili's.
GRMC's Neuroscience and Neurology Department treats a wide spectrum of disorders associated with the nervous system, spine, and brain. Some of the more common disorders include seizures, epilepsy, dementia, sleep disorders, migraine, and stroke, which is one of the leading causes of death on Guam. GRMC's neuroscience team is equipped with the latest technology and the finest neurological doctors. To make an appointment, contact GRMC Specialty Clinics at 645-5500.
The GCC Votech Class of 79 is back. Join them on April 27th at the Onward Beach Hotel for a night of dinner, dancing, skits, and reminiscing. It's been 40 years since graduation, so take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime chance to relive the memories. There's also a memorial mass on Friday, the 26th, at the Santa Teresita Church. Be there at 5:30 for candle placement in honor of classmates who've gone before. Tickets for the reunion on the 27th are on sale for $40 a person. For details, find Connie Kittiwa St. Nicholas at 488-6108 or Kathy Diaz, 777-3243. Viva 79ers!
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 7 minutes past 8 a.m. this Friday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. The chairman of the Consolidated Commission on Utilities, Joey Duenas, says he's taking responsibility for the bonuses and pay raises the CCU approved for GWA and GPA executives behind closed doors last November. Attorney General Levin Camacho informing Duenas in a letter on Tuesday that approval of those raises and bonuses during that closed-door session on November 27th violated the open government law of Guam. As a result, the Attorney General informed Duenas that the salary adjustments are void and must be paid back by the employees who received them. Duenas said as chairman, he should have done a better job of ensuring that the salary adjustments were discussed during the open session portion of the meeting. Duenas said that the utility company's lawyers are now reviewing their procedures to comply with the Attorney General's directive. The lawyers were among the utility executives whose salary increases were approved during that closed-door meeting. Bob Klitsky, the host of the Tall Tales radio program here on The Point, was the first to point out the open government law violation last week following a report in the Guam Daily Post about the salary increases and bonuses. Senators last night unanimously confirmed key cabinet nominees, including Stephen Ignacio, who was confirmed chief of the Guam Police Department after a second psych evaluation pronounced him fit for duty. Colonel Esther Agagi, confirmed as the director of the Department of Military Affairs and the Adjutant General of the Guam National Guard. She's the first woman to lead the Guam Guard. Also confirmed were Samantha Brennan as Director of the Department of Corrections, Lester Carlson as Director of the Bureau of Budget and Management Research, and Ignacio Paredo as Director of the Guam Customs and Quarantine Agency. We'll have more news after this.
Here at APL, our core values give the company its heart and soul. Whether it's connecting your business with our global network through our newly enhanced service or investing our efforts into giving back to the community, APL is committed to serving you. We humbly honor the opportunity to find innovative solutions for you and your business. To learn more about our enhanced service, call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com/Guam for more details.
In illness and in wellness, Calvo's Select Care is health care that is there for you. That's why over 80% of the Guam medical community places their trust and insures with us. We offer our members wellness and fitness programs for a healthier lifestyle and provide a comprehensive medical network on and off island to help members from unexpected illnesses. Contact Calvo's Select Care today for more information.
10 minutes past 8 a.m. here at The Point. Following a bruising confirmation hearing that left his nomination hung up in committee, GTA Executive Vice President Dan Tydenko has withdrawn his nomination to the Airport Board of Directors. In his withdrawal letter to the governor, Tydenko is highly critical of the legislative process that derailed his nomination, writing that the legislative process was hijacked by those who appeal to fear and prejudice for their own political purposes. Although Tydenko received overwhelming support from most of those who testified at his hearing, he was the subject of criticism by Bernadette Stern-Menno, the former marketing manager at the Port Authority, who was fired in December 2012, along with 6 other port employees following allegations she had falsified a workers' compensation claim. Tydenko was chairman of the Port Board at that time. Senator Mary Torres, who was Port Authority GM when Tydenko was board chairman, also opposed Tydenko's nomination, and committee chairwoman Senator Talina Nelson decided not to advance Tydenko's nomination, citing Torres's testimony. Tydenko wrote in his letter to the governor that the committee chairperson completely disregarded the exhibits provided to her, which, Tydenko says, prove there was an attempt to fraudulently claim workmen's compensation benefits. Both Senator Torres and Nelson responded to Tydenko's letter with brief statements to the Guam Daily Post. They welcomed the governor's decision to appoint Doyon Morato in place of Tydenko. Senator Torres said she looks forward to the honesty and integrity that Morato will bring to the Airport Authority. The first phase of construction for a new Simon Sanchez High School is underway. During a news conference at the school yesterday, Guam DOE Superintendent John Fernandez announced that a $95,000 contract has been awarded to Duenas, Camacho, and Associates to survey the Jigo campus property. This is the first phase of the rebuilding project, and it's scheduled to be completed in 120 days. The subsequent construction phases will be bid out separately in the hopes of avoiding procurement protests, which have stalled efforts to rebuild the school in the past. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Ray and Mike now with weather.
On the microphone, and then I can start talking on the radio about what we are seeing, weather conditions. Not too much of a change from what weather conditions we have, shall I say, enjoyed over the course of the week. Some people like it when it's hot and muggy. Partly cloudy today with isolated showers. Winds from the east about 15 to 20 miles an hour. It'll slow down at night. Highs 89 degrees overnight, lows 78 degrees. Sunset at 6:35. Sunrises early into the 6 o'clock hour, 6:02, 6:01 over the next couple of days. And just watch out because the fire weather watch is in effect, will be in effect until at least 8 o'clock tonight. Probably going to be reissued on the other side of that. Grill Marks weekend for absolutely sure. In fact, I must say, you know, if you've got the capability of doing it, today can be a Grill Marks day. That's what everything is looking like to me. What do you say, Mike?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Just be careful if you get out there in the sun. It's going to be pretty intense. So probably about 85% duration on the Grill Marks. You know, you gotta cut it a little short. Otherwise, you'll get really, really burned.
What? You say I'm going to get skin cancer from being outside just one day for
it just hurts
an hour,
like
hour and a half?
No, it just hurts like heck.
No. You see. Okay. So today, if you've never grill marked before, right? You just got to Guam. I was, you just flew in, and you're going, okay, I'm going to go get me one of those Ray Gibson tans, right? It just, makes the tans that just you wear the right color clothes, it just pops out. So you go, So you're not going to get it the first day.
No.
So you want to do this in increments, little bite-sized increments. Just as you start to get red, that's when you leave. That's when you split. After that, you come back the next week and take it to just until you get to the red, and before long you will find that you are able to tan without burning. Which is the mission, should be the goal.
Yeah, that's what I do. I go for my fat man walks every day, and slowly but surely I get a little browner.
That's the idea. And then before too much longer, you put the Sanahi on, you run the ponytail like a man bun, and we'll put statues up in the little roundabouts in town. 8:14 in the morning, and that's all the time we've got to hem and haw about whether we've got some hemming and hawing about sports that we're going to take care of in just a couple of minutes.
This is Ronnie. Ronnie is about to break his piggy bank.
Come on, piggy bank.
Ronnie wants to upgrade his smartphone.
And this piggy's gonna help me.
If Ronnie had signed up for GTA's handset payment option, he could have selected a new smartphone with an affordable monthly plan.
I could have what?
Exactly. Sign up for HBO at GTA and don't break the bank.
I'm sorry, piggy bank.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit gta.net for more information. GTA.
Portions of the Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by American President Lines. APL is shipping the future, Micronesia Renewable Energy, and they're fond of saying things like, there's never been a better time to go solar. Call them and find out. Guam Regional Medical City, the first choice for your specialty care needs, and King's Restaurant. They've got the crazy 19 menu back. And it's crazy because what they do is they've taken a whole lot of your favorites, kind of turned them upside down and said, what else can we pair this with? What else can we bring to on the plate that will draw out the flavors of the main part of the dish? And they've done it with breakfast, lunch, dinners, desserts, appetizers. You don't believe me? Go to King's in Harmon and Tamuning.
Helen Keller once said, blindness separates us from things, but deafness separates us from people. At Ross Hearing Aids, it's their mission to keep you connected to the moments and the people that matter most in your life. Hearing aid technology has never been better, so schedule your complimentary hearing consultation today. Call Ross Hearing Aids, 637-HEAR, 637-4327. You should hear what you're missing.
I love you, Daddy.
How's your hearing?
Portions of the Ray Gibson Show also brought to you by my friends over at Take Care. Take Care supporting an event that's going to be taking place this weekend, and do you have in your cupboard, or kitchen, you've got drugs that the doctor prescribed for you and you took, but you didn't finish them, your antibiotics or pain pills, and things like that. Truth of the matter is that there is a Take Back. The DEA National Take Back is going to be taking place this weekend, Saturday. From 10 until 2, you'll be able to take back these drugs for safe disposal. We don't want you flushing it down a toilet either, because all that stuff is bioreactive and will go from the toilets to the crabs to the fish to the whatever and come back into the food chain. So Agana Shopping Center. From 10 to 2, Anderson Air Force Base, Main Base Exchange from 10 until 2, Kmart's main entrance, and Naval Base Guam at their main exchange food court. And if you're going to the food court, get me some Popeyes. Appreciate it. Now, DEA National Take Back Drug Day. Also being brought to you by Cars Plus, Joe and Jen and Dunge. You want to talk to Dunge if you got any specific needs for your fleet. That's one of the things that he's really, really good at there. But motorcycles and cars and Jeeps and things like that, plenty of that in whatever your favorite color is going to be. And security title. If you were just bought a piece of property, always good to have them take a look at the title, have them do the research on it, and make sure there's no marks on it. That's what they're good at. It's security title.
The Coconut Wireless is back. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
And away we go. It's 8:17 in the morning. What did it get to be 8:17? Didn't we just stop doing the traffic a couple of minutes ago, or the weather a couple of minutes ago? Wow. All right. Busy morning. And it's a Friday. So did you stay up late and watch Avengers last night? Did you go?
No.
No, just make that face for you. You made that face like, get out of here.
No, I'm
not going to waste 3 hours of my time in pedestrian fare.
No, I haven't seen the rest of them, so I don't, I haven't seen the first one, part 1.
2008? Is that how far back it goes?
No, the one from last year. Avenger Endgame Part 1 came out last April.
Okay.
I did not. This is a sequel
This is a two-part one, right?
Okay, so first of all, as I've already said numerous times, is number one, I'm not a Marvel dude. I was never. I'm a DC Comics guy. So I was never deep into the Marvel universe. And then it was like, okay, cool Avengers movies, or taking the kids to that, and these event films, and then it was okay. So you got the Avengers, and we're building this team, and at the end of all of these movies, there was Sam Jackson, and there would be some kind of a thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I punched through all of that stuff, and then they started expanding out from the movie theaters, right? TV shows and Netflix series, and I wasn't sure how they all kind of interacted with each other, right?
Yeah.
And so that got me all confused, and now we're at the Thanos Endgame thing, and I've lost my place.
This is what the Wikipedia says.
Okay.
It is the sequel to 2012's The Avengers, 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron, and 2018's Avengers Infinity War. This is the 22nd film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because, we asked for 22 of them.
Yeah, but like I said, they've also got, they also went into it with Netflix series,
right,
and ABC television shows.
Who's on... Well, I know, like, Jesse Jones and Luke Cage are on Netflix. Daredevil.
Right. Yeah.
Who was on ABC?
What's the... It's not an X-Men.
Because I know that, I know the CW does, like, the DC.
Shield.
Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
That's right. That's right. With that one actor that's, like, a good character actor. He's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And isn't Lucifer one of those shows?
I think Lucifer is in the Marvel.
Lucifer is Grey's Anatomy. It's just all of those shows. They're all part of that Marvel universe, and I couldn't.
This isn't, but it's funny because we just talked about it. My mom's mind got blown because my mom watches Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med. And for ratings, NBC joined all three of those shows into one show one week, and my mom about lost her mind.
Yep, I know exactly. I know exactly what you mean, and because there's enough interaction in the shows anyway. They write in the lawyers and the fire department and the ambulance
and
guys.
they all use each other because the cops have to go to the hospital
and then
sometimes.
pretty soon you don't know which show you're watching. You got to kind of go back out to the root directory and figure out. Wait a second, which show am I watching?
It's like Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? It's like, wait, who is that again?
Oh, Game of Thrones. I had to go there. So you got Game of Thrones Monday coming up.
You know what I didn't realize when we talked about it this week, and don't worry, you don't have to turn off your radio off, no spoilers. But what I didn't realize...
It's Friday, for God's sake.
That's true.
You should have seen the show by now.
And if you haven't, you're missing out because it's a really good one.
Yeah, the second one is great. There's a lot of comedy.
And also, it'll answer what Kevin asked me earlier in the week, is we're already a third of the way through. Because there's only 6 episodes.
It's a short season.
Now, I think, though, this week, episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6, this is when we start going into each of these episodes is going to be like an hour and a half.
I just finished catching up to the end of
the season 7. Okay.
So
you're in good shape then.
Yeah.
You're in good shape.
Well briefed. Now I can begin on
the new stuff.
Season 8, episodes 1 and 2 are basically reunion shows. They're basically reunion shows, and there's a little bit of getting caught up, and then of course there's the whole oh my God they're related thing. That's we got to no, because you found out about that at the end of the last season. So in the closing scenes of season 7 is where we get to find out that oh my God they're related. They're bumping uglies and they're related. And speaking of bumping uglies, how old is a girl? Because that made me, I was uncomfortable watching that part.
It was 22 is what I'm going to guess.
In the show?
I think she was probably 12 when it started, I'm going to guess.
No, not in real life. I mean in the show.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well, how long has that been?
Ariana Stark. Yeah. I don't know. How old is she, and is that an appropriate thing for her to have done on the eve of the battle?
Well.
Okay, and that's all we can say about that, because it's just a weird thing. Besides, it's not time for TV with Blake. It's time for Sports with Blake. That was funny. We should just stop now. I think we were good. We'll hit a couple of sports things and then go.
Right. Yeah, I got to be careful because I will just keep talking about Game of Thrones.
It's draft day.
It is draft day.
I think they're gonna start doing the draft in what, an hour, something like that.
Live from Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. And also, they're going to hold Pac, Mike. I don't know if you saw this last year. Last year, maybe the year before is when they started it. But they have been instructed, ESPN and reporters, to not report on the pick before they pick. I guess to not tip the hands. Yeah. So it's ESPN, because they'll be live right there in the room. So they've just been asked to not announce who the team's picking, because they know. Like they'll get it fed, but maybe they're not. Maybe it's like I think they're not. They have to wait for Roger Goodell to officially verbally say, with the first pick of the draft, the Arizona Cardinals select.
Right.
You know, not just like, oh, well, obviously, you know, the Cardinals select this, so, you know, the Rams are going to obviously select the next person.
But they're still allowed to do their mock drafts. And
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Right,
And they've been
right.
doing that if you've been watching the Worldwide Leader.
Ad
It's
nauseum.
Ad nauseum.
it's one of those rough times of the year because there is playoff sports right now, but there's a little bit, because it's still first round, so there's still a couple days in between games.
Yeah, yeah.
And baseball is just kind of in the dog days, you know, in the early goings. So you had draft talk and lots of college softball.
So you think Murray going to go first?
I mean,
that's what all the experts are saying. They're saying the Cardinals are going to snatch him up.
I mean,
but they could trade that pick for, you know, maybe 2 more later down the road and still upgrade.
I think the only other possibility rumor I've heard is that Gruden could step in and maybe trade 1 or 2 or 3 of his first round pick, or I guess 2 of his first round picks. So they have 3 that do the Raiders and go and get Murray. But I think Kingsbury likes him too much. Kingsbury was really infatuated with Kyler Murray because they're both Texans, and they both know each other from the Big 12.
That's right.
Because Kingsbury was all around Kyler Murray when he was playing in college. Thanks. So from OU or from A&M to OU, and now to the league. I guess
it'll be interesting. It's going to be an interesting draft. It really will be.
Yeah.
Okay, and so as far as I know, only one 5K this weekend, and that is the St. Francis 10th Annual Crusade to Educate. This is not an Agana run. It's not a Tumon run. This is a St. Francis School in Zotnia run. So get there at 5:30. Go time is at 6, and this is going to be taking place tomorrow. And again, keep an eye on where the sun is, and whoever is officiating this race, do me a favor for my friends that are going to be running it, is start absolutely on time because the sun has been coming up early and it's been coming up hot. So you don't
too early.
It's
I don't
not
like
fun
it.
running a 5K in the heat.
Oh, I bet not. See when we come into work, I like it to be dark when I'm driving into work. You know.
Well, it ain't going to be that until what, Thanksgiving next year when we start turning the seasons.
Or unless it just rains.
Okay, a couple of notes from Mark Cruz, who's listening online, and he sent me pictures of the Popeyes menu. Thank you very much. Don't send me pictures of the Popeyes menu unless you're actually going to bring me 18 pieces of Popeyes goodness and the hot sauce, if you don't mind. Endgame, he says, 3 hours long, the movie.
Wow.
And Game of Thrones Episode 3 will be 80 minutes long, 60 minutes. 60 minutes of it is the battle.
Wow.
80-minute show, and an hour of the show is all going to be battle stuff. Which one of our favorite characters are going to die?
Is there a chance all of them do, and we just end this whole Marvel universe?
Who's read the books?
In Game of Thrones? Well, they've been off book for years. So I don't know how it's going to happen. I think they're just kind of writing it now as they go along.
You know, they're also canceling and pulling all those Marvel shows in light of the announcement of the Disney Plus streaming service that's going to launch at the end of the year.
Well, somebody said that there's what is it, something of the Skywalkers, the Rise of the Skywalkers,
Star Wars.
was a movie. It was a trailer before the movie started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so at the movie theaters, right? So we're getting ready for the movie, and they start running trailers, and one of them was the Rise of the Skywalkers.
Wow.
So I mean, there's a pretty good indication of where the studios are going to be taking everything. Now that we're done with the Avengers universe, then we're going to start looking at the whole Skywalker thing. Although I'm going to say, you know, it doesn't have the same allure to me as Star Wars did in the 70s and 80s.
No, it's changed a little bit, a little watered down, and it's a little oversaturated. But I will say this: they're both owned by Disney, so I stand by the fact that I believe we will see Star Wars v. Marvel one day.
I don't disagree with that.
Got Guam Major League Baseball action tonight. The Rangers taking on the Royals. It's a game of streaks. Both teams trying to streak, but one wants to turn it around. The Rangers on a 3-game losing streak. Royals on a 3-game winning streak, and that'll be at 7 p.m. at Paseo. Sunday, couple of games, 3 p.m. Red Hawks taking on the Blue Jays. Red Hawks are 3-1. Blue Jays 2-2. Both teams actually pretty solid on both sides of the ball. And then also the late game Sunday. Rooks, they're winless versus the Rays at 2-2. And Rays are on a 2-game winning streak. The Rooks hoping that they can hold a game together finally and
get their
punch
first
one out. Yeah,
get their first win.
Fun fact about me: I actually drink Windex to keep from streaking. Just so you know.
My buddy, my breakfast pizza buddy Dennis Mansour says Arya, the character, around 18, 19 years old on the show. Enrico Blancaflor says, calm down, Ray. The Arya scene is not so shocking because, well, it's Game of Thrones. It is the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, if you'll remember way back, and this is no spoiler, Kevin, you've already seen this. You remember way back in that castle that had the big hole in the ground where the and that was I think the queen of that
moon window.
The moon window, yeah.
Right.
I think it was Lady Stark, Sansa and Arya Stark's mom's sister.
Yes.
And if you'll remember, I think she was breastfeeding like an 11 or 12-year-old boy in that scene. So yeah, it's not too shocking. Nothing. I don't put anything past Game of Thrones.
Did we just use the word breastfeeding on this program?
I don't think it's the first. It could be maybe the first time. I'm not sure, but I think we used it in the holiest context possible in the context of Game of Thrones. So I think it's going to be all right. All right, and now I wanted to get this. This has been on the things to talk about for sports for days, and between Blake and I, we keep forgetting to talk about it. Boys and girls soccer camps, co-ed, open to ages 8 to 15. The fun will start June the 17th. They've got another session on the 24th, another one on July 8th at 9 to 4 at the UOG soccer field. $175 for the camp. There's an early registration that you can take advantage of, and a variety of other things. Register. Where's this going to be coming from? Esta Bilom at triton.uog.edu, or take this number down, 735-2861, and ask them about the University of Guam 2019 FINACPU summer semester for boys and girls ages 8 to 15. We'll talk about dribbling, passing, shooting, footwork, heading, trapping, ball control, running with the ball, turning with the ball, team defense, individual defense, goalkeeping, playing the game, situations one-on-one, and, of course, fitness development for the kids. I would recommend to my friends that play ultimate frisbee that they lurk on some of these things as well, because a lot of the things that we're talking about here, running ball, turning with the ball, and defensive and offensive positions are similar to some of the same moves that you'll see in ultimate frisbee. I'd actually watched a training session of ultimate frisbee one day, and was just astonished at really how much technique there is. It's not just a bunch of people wrestling for a frisbee on the sand.
Oh, no. There's much more to it. It's like frisbee golf. You don't realize that in frisbee golf, it's almost like real golf, where you need to buy 3 or 4 different kind of discs for distance and for speed. So, I mean, like the putter disc is a lot different than the driver disc, if you're playing frisbee golf.
Yeah, the putter disc actually is quite heavy, so that it's not very aerodynamic. Generally speaking, when you're putting in golf, frisbee golf, you're going to be close to the pin.
Right.
So, yeah, you get a heavier one, so it'll go ahead and land in that basket.
Interesting. So we've used the words breastfeeding and now putter disc.
Putter disc, yes.
on the program today. I think we're breaking new ground here in broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you're all proud to be a part of it. 8:31, that's all the time we got to talk about sports. The big plan for the weekend is?
Just to relax, because we got a big weekend next weekend here at our Star 101 station next weekend. Cinco de Mayo, we got the Coconut Olympics.
Oh, dude, I got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Quiz night is coming up. I'm hosting that, and there's the Men in Black Gala with the Chamber of Commerce hosting that, and then we've got the celebrity waiter thing coming up. The 76 Circle K does, which I'm also hosting. So I got a big weekend, a big week ahead of me, and I'm going to try to get some rest this weekend as well.
There's checkpoints this weekend, so I'm staying inside.
Oh, I don't worry about that because I don't drink. It's 8:31. That's all the time we got to pretend to talk about sports. Blake Watson's going to head back over to Star 101. Kevin Kerrigan's got your news next.
Get a free Polar Pop any size when you fuel up on $35 or more of premium high-performance fuel. Conditions apply. See stores for details. Circle K. Take it easy. Get a free coffee any size when you fuel up on $35 or more of premium high-performance fuel. Conditions apply. See stores for details. Circle K. Take it easy. Get $5 off any Circle K car wash package when you purchase $35 or more of premium high-performance fuel. Conditions apply. See stores for details. Circle K. Take it easy.
Yeah, here's the question that we should have asked on the air, and I might do that now. 8:32 in the morning, Kevin Kerrigan talking about getting caught up, and now you've made it all the way through season 7. And my question is, you're one of the busiest guys I know. You're here in the morning to do the stuff, and then you go out and be managing.
It's taken about 2 weeks to catch up.
Managing editor for the Daily Post. Where did you find time? A couple of weeks worth of sitting around and waiting for a couple of free minutes to watch the show?
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad. Do you have a ritual for Game of Thrones watching?
When I go home at night, fire it up.
Well, I mean, cold beer, popcorn, get a sandwich, something like that. I mean, because I know what mine is. I know what mine is, and it kind of depends on what I have available. If I've got popcorn, I'll make some popcorn, have a cold drink standing by, throw some Tabasco in it. Otherwise, this might be a Hot Pocket show, or this might be one of those where just,
Keep it simple. Just sit there and watch.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that's the way Kevin does it. This is the way he does headlines. From the Guam Daily Post, here's Kevin Kerrigan.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. In the headlines from the Guam Daily Post this morning, in Superior Court yesterday afternoon, Renato Capilli-Bossi found guilty of criminal sexual conduct involving a 14-year-old girl who claimed that the former pastor of her church had inappropriately touched her multiple times and harassed her with inappropriate phone calls and emails. The jury of 12 spent about an hour deliberating yesterday following the 8-day trial. Bossi was convicted of 2 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct, 2 counts of fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct, and child abuse. He faces a minimum of 10 years in prison. In closing arguments yesterday, Chief Prosecutor Basil O'Malley said Bossi used his position as a man of God to strike fear in his young victim, who looked to him for guidance. In his close, defense attorney Stephen Hattori described Bossi as a man of faith who devoted 40 years to his church, and multiple character witnesses, he said, testified that the former pastor was a good person. Following the verdict, Bossi's defense attorney Hattori said that they will appeal. Bossi has repeatedly denied the allegations. His sentencing set for July 24th. Guam Police Department is asking for the public's help in finding 2 men and a woman wanted for questioning following a string of robberies and thefts. If seen, police warn they should not be approached. They are considered armed and dangerous, according to police spokesman Sergeant Paul Tapau. The individuals have been identified as 36-year-old William Yam Nang. His last known address was on Jose Sudo Street in Jonia, but he is known to frequent Maritzo. 40-year-old Xavier Anderson Tau, whose last known address was also on Jose Sudo Street, but he's known to frequent Agate, and Joanna Elena Paulino Babauta also lived on that same street in Jonia. Police did not reveal which robbery cases the trio are wanted for. Anyone who sees any of the individuals asked to call GPD at 472-8911 or call the Guam Crime Stoppers hotline at 477-HELP. The Guam Power Authority has received reports that there are some people claiming to be GPA employees going house to house around the island, saying they are counting power meters. They are not. GPA is warning the public that any and all GPA employees performing field work wear official identification badges and drive official GPA vehicles. Field workers do not collect money or payments when they are out in the field, nor are they permitted to ask for entry into private homes, and no GPA employees are out there now counting meters. GPA cautions the public to ask for official identification from anyone claiming to work for GPA and report all suspicious behavior to authorities. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
8:36. Earlier, I was talking about which Avengers character for which village, and I'm going to shotgun this right now. Shotgunning Black Widow for Mong Mong Tot Tomaiti. Just saying that's my village. That's my hood. Black Widow is my character. So when you're coming into my town, you just honor, respect for Black Widow. Just gonna say you can have Iron Man and you can have the Hulk or whatever, but I'm getting Black Widow. Is that it? That's iConnect time, right? iConnect time is already 8:37 in the morning. 888-8888 is their phone number. They want to talk to you about awesome plans for mobile and internet. And if you're in the business world, really seriously consider Push to Talk. They're the only guys that got it at iConnect.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they'll continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,600 by calling Family Finance in Agutya at 475-4545, Upper Tumon at 647-5626, or in Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance, serving the people of Guam since 1959.
All right, just a fast look at the traffic gizmo. See if there's anything that is out there that is going to be slowing you down as you're trying to make it from home to work, work to home, or whatever. Looks like there's a little bit of a lineup northbound up in front of Anderson Air Force Base because I guess everybody going to work up there. That's what it is. Intersection of 15 and 10, a little bit rugged right now, as is 8, 10, and 16. But once you get past the intersection, past the entrance to Teedson, it's smooth sailing all the way into the downtown Hagatna area. Don't see anything right now building up in front of. I mean, it'll slow you down because there's people going to Navy Hospital. But worse, a lot more people trying to get into Big Navy in Sumai. Maybe I said something about Popeyes too much. I don't know what it is, but that's where the traffic backups are working right now. If you see something that I haven't mentioned, 988-5874.
Docomo Pacific's all-new business bundles provide tailored solutions to help your business become a better business. Choose from our Business Basic, Essential, or Value bundles and get unlimited talk and text, worry-free data at home and abroad, plus access to the fastest online speeds in the Marianas. Add on mobile or broadband lines and save up to 20% for each line. Email businesssales@docomopacific.com to find out which bundle provides the best solution for your business. Terms and conditions apply.
Wow. Ryoko Yonekura, Japanese actress, former fashion model, best known for her role in the Japanese medical drama Dr. X, but has also played the character of Black Widow. Ryoko Yonekura. Google it up and enjoy your morning. 20 away from 9 o'clock in the morning, 888-825-5888-TALK. As Kevin's walking out the door, he sees my buddy Martin Paz, who is from Resort World Manila, asking the question, hey, are you going to be bidding on the House of Cards over at our carnival? And you're not aware of the drama surrounding that, are you?
Yes. So
yes, you are.
Yes, I'm not aware.
Oh, yes, you're not aware. Okay. Yeah, let me make you aware. First of all, welcome back.
All right. Hey, good morning to you guys. Good morning. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
So when's the last time we were together? Just around the holidays, right?
Yes, it was a couple of months ago.
Yeah, we're getting ready to open some more hotels. And,
yes, and we've opened it already, but yes.
But there's still more openings coming up at Resort World.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into some of that. But here's the drama. So we've got this carnival coming up, 75th Liberation festivities, right?
Okay.
It's our big deal. We were liberated from the Japanese 75 years ago, and we like to have a carnival that goes along with it. Well, games and games of chance. We play Pasoy here, like you guys do there.
Oh, okay.
And the colors game, Beto Beto, all kinds of other stuff.
Surprise!
Yeah, but there's a house of cards. We don't want to call it a casino, and it's going to be mostly card games that get played on
table
the inside.
Games.
Yeah, table games.
All right.
And so the question is Resort World Manila has some expertise in that field, so maybe you guys could come out and bid.
Hey,
for
that's interesting.
But keep an eye on it because they're not quite done with the ratifications of the rules and regulations.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. So Archie, I'll copy you when there's something interesting to talk about. I'll copy Archie Nicasio, who's also in the studio.
When is this happening?
It will happen June into July.
June into July.
Yeah, late June.
Might be worth a visit as well.
Might be worth a conversation. Maybe some Resort World Manila and bring out some friends for the work. But the goal here is to get people from Guam to go to Manila and participate and goofing off and goodies.
Well, you invest a lot of time and effort to getting that to happen. So if we actually participate in that kind of a setup and an event, brings awareness to the people here in Guam
about the fun that you can have at Resorts World Manila.
Almost like a sampler.
Well, and so we'll start with that. So there is gambling that goes on at Resorts World Manila, and
well, we call it gaming. But
gaming.
Yes, yes, I know.
Prize consideration chance. So whatever is the way it works. So you go in there and got nice hotels, great entertainment facilities, and every once in a while you might want to pass by a couple of game rooms and try your luck at a couple of hands of poker or whatever.
That's true.
All kinds of games. Now you've expanded that, haven't you? We
have. It's I'm not sure if you've. When was the last time you've been in Manila, Ray?
The last time was there when I was a guest of yours in June last year.
Oh, so wow! You'll be surprised now when you go to the. It seems like a really new property in a way because there is a new facility or a new structure in front of the old structure, as you know, as Resort World.
Right.
So it's not as big, but it's really grand. That's why it's called actually the Grand Wing. It's another wing, which houses 3 new hotels. Okay. First is the Hilton, and it opened already.
Yeah.
And then the Sheraton, all American brands actually.
Yes.
And then Okura is coming in. That one is the third one that's going to open Probably third quarter of this year.
Very
something.
high-end Japanese.
High-end Japanese. And then, of course, in that wing, they share like a gaming space, one of the largest gaming spaces that we have. And then, you got all the slot machines, all the card, all the table, all the function rooms, all the stuff. And then you got a big pool in the middle, sitting in the middle, and you'll be surprised because this is really like we call it the Vega Pool Club.
So, but it's a swimming pool, right?
It is a swimming pool by
so
day.
how do you get people out of it? Because my brother was in, he might still be in Manila now.
Okay.
And the report from my brother is, oh my God, Manila is so hot right now. So you get people into the pool, they're not getting out.
Yeah, they're not getting out. Well, we have to drag them actually, almost like literally, like they swim, and it's a great pool because it's actually heated. Not that we need heated pools in Manila right now, given the weather.
Right. But it's nice to get into a pool that's not freezing cold.
It's not freezing in the morning.
In comparison to the outside.
You don't have to wait like, oh, it's freezing in the morning, so I'll probably go to.
Did they do the same thing to the one upstairs at Belmont?
Not yet.
Okay,
Still considering. I know you know that. I know you love that pool. The
That's
sipping beer, watching the sunset.
Guests.
Yeah.
You can watch the sunrise. And
Yeah. That's cool.
As far as I'm concerned, if I'm at Belmont in Manila, I'm in international training zone, right?
That is true.
The clock means nothing to me as long as the guy will sell me a beer, I can sit in the pool.
And that's just right beside our runway Manila, which is the link bridge.
Yes.
So that's good. Belmont. I mean, it's a good choice of
I've got to fly into that airport, into that terminal. That's how I've got to set things up. So I will be there again in June.
Okay.
And maybe a little bit longer of an accommodation. Because my partner wants me to go and get medical evaluation. And
awesome,
you guys,
awesome.
right?
Yeah,
There's
awesome,
already
awesome.
connections that you guys do.
With St. Luke's, one of the biggest medical facilities and the most notable medical facilities in the Philippines. And yes, we do have a lot of packages for that as well. I mean, they go there, get their health checked.
Right?
Health and wellness.
Doctor says I'm cleared for the thrilling games.
Yes, your heart is cool and you're good to go.
Hey, before we get too deep into the conversation, one of the other hallmarks of Resort World Manila is they have got great entertainment.
Awesome.
365 days a year, 7 days a week, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. There's some really, really good shows that you guys have got coming up. So what's the near term next big deal?
Well, it's all local right now. So Jaja Padilla is going to be the one having a Mother's Day concert, and then for the guys who are fans of the Eraserheads, which is actually an iconic band in the Philippines, almost like I wouldn't say Beatles of the Philippines, but they're as iconic as that. They have like original Filipino songs that we've turned it into a musical. Yeah, so
like a Mamma Mia.
Exactly.
So we've taken the songs and we've incorporated them into the show.
That's correct.
Okay.
And it's not just technically, yes, it's incorporated, but it's sung through. It's not as if they pause and they sing a song and then they go back to the musical. The musical is like your dialogue is the song.
Yeah.
So but remember, when the guys wrote the song, I mean the Erasers during that time, obviously they were not thinking about doing it for a musical. So it was really a tough challenge for the writers of the musical to actually create a story that seamlessly weaves in together, scene per scene,
the lyrics of all of the
using
songs.
the song that it's not forced. So that in itself is an experience. And we had 33 runs last year, like 33 shows for the first run, and
virtually all of them sold out, I heard.
Yes, and then we did a second run as well. We started in March, sold out as well. We're doing a third one in May, so they might want to catch it if they're in
Can
Manila.
I get tickets online for that? I mean, is there a way that I can using the Resort World Manila app?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, so if I I know when I'm going, I know what
just
show
make a
I'm gonna
reservation and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, very nice. And then you just pay when you get in.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. You should. Everybody, look, if you're spending, if you go to Manila a couple of times, 3 times a year, it's worth the zero investment to download the Resort World app.
The zero investment.
Get it on your phone, and while you're waiting for the plane to take off, take a look at it and see what they've got for you. It's a very active app, very active website that you've got as well, and up to date on everything that's going on in and around the property.
That's true.
Yeah, all the entertainment stuff, all the food.
I use it myself. I mean, like, hey, I forgot a lot of details of a resort show sometimes. I'm like, hey, what's the phone number? What's the phone number for this outlet? And yeah.
God, the great Chinese restaurant that you guys have got in the Maxim.
Yeah, Passion.
That's so good.
Everybody remembers that as well. And by the way, Maxim's will be changing, as you mentioned, to the Ritz-Carlton.
There you go.
It's going to happen soon. So we're going to change that probably start building towards the end of the year and probably finish it sometime, hopefully late next year. But it's one of the.
That is such a huge deal.
It's a big deal.
It's not it's not just the rebranding, right? I mean, there's all kinds of changes, other visuals that are going to be changing.
No, it's
uniforms,
literally
like
rooms will be changing, restaurants will change. As you know, Passion might not be there anymore because Ritz-Carlton is taking over in terms of all the restaurant brands and stuff like that. Plus Ritz-Carlton, I'm not sure if you obviously
I'm familiar with the brand.
I'm familiar with the brand, but the thing is, they don't go to Asia. I mean, they're picky with the countries that they go to.
Sure.
And we were just very fortunate that they went to, and they said yes.
We'll do Manila and we'll do RWM.
Yes.
I wanted to touch on shopping because that's one of the things that I do after with my winnings that I get from the floor. Every once in a while I'll strike gold and it burns a hole in my pocket. So tell me about the shopping. Have you added some new stores on the mall site?
Yes, we're adding new retail spots in the second floor, and also some new shops as well in the Grand Wing.
We need a Zara.
You need Zara? Yes, we're working on that as well. There's a lot of,
and then Archie will never leave.
there's a lot of exciting. I mean, for people like us, this is our 10th year, and it's crazy to think that we're already on our 10th year. It seems just like yesterday.
Wow!
And just for us, seeing when we started, there were just a few shops. Couple of hotels, and now we have the biggest ballroom, like the Marriott Grand Ballroom, and then you got these Belmonts, you got these Savoy hotels, you got this Sheraton coming in, and all that.
And it feels like the Skyway leads right to your front door.
It does actually.
It does
actually. Yes. So that's a great logistical advantage for us to be just right across the airport and be like 5 minutes away from the business district, Makati.
Well, and not that far away from Mall of Asia for other shopping
kind of like
that people want to do.
The heart of it.
I kind of like the whole Pasay place that you've got going on there. Very, very interesting neighborhood that we put Resort World Manila. There are a bunch of 10th anniversary celebrations that you have coming up. Can we touch on that?
Sure. 10th anniversary. I mean, for us, it's giving back. I mean, obviously, every anniversary that every company does, it's like giving back. But for us, giving back means 10 in Roman numeral is X.
Yes.
So
that's why
we're giving a lot of extras.
At the write-ups on this. I'm seeing everything that has an X or a C or something like that.
It's nothing porn. With that X. So X is a lot of extras for us this year. We're going to do a lot of extra giveaways if we have not done that yet in the past few years. A lot of extra deals that they're going to enjoy. One of which is actually a grand staycation. We're going to offer it for roughly $450, 6 nights. 6 nights. Different hotels per night.
No way.
Yeah, it's like a staycation hopping experience, if you want to call it. But you don't have to do it like one go. I mean, you can. It's valid for the year, but you get this
like
voucher.
A booklet,
like a booklet, like a passport is what we call it, and then you get stamped every time. 6 days, $450 bucks.
Does that include the Hilton and
Hilton,
and the
Sheraton,
Hilton?
Well, Okura not yet because that's not yet open. So Hilton, Sheraton, Marriott, so American brands, and then you got Belmont, Savoy, and Holiday Inn Express part of it. So those 6 brands are part of it. And then on the flip side, you also got, for those who want to just eat.
It always trips me out when somebody from the Philippines says on the flip side. I'm just need to push that out there.
Okay, all right. Flip side. Yeah. So on the other end spectrum, those who actually want to eat, yes, we're a place to actually do staycations, but we're also a place to, if you want to eat. And I know Guamanians, they love food. Yeah. I mean, you have great food here. So
it's a grand buffet?
Challenge. We call it a challenge. We call it a challenge because it's 10 buffets for $200. I mean, $200. That's roughly for us, it's like 1,000 pesos, which is just like $20. $20.
Yeah, I can eat a lot for 1,000 pesos in the Philippines.
Yeah, and it's we want you to taste. The idea for that, and the idea for the hotel staycation hopping as well, is that we want you to taste the different facilities that we offer, and get a feel of what the advantages is of actually just staying within one property that houses a lot of different hotels, over 50 different restaurants. It's just you you can stay there and not leave. Really.
From the management side, from the model side, you actually don't want your customers venturing too far out. We want
Venturing-
them to stay,
yes, that's
we
correct.
want you to stay here, stay in our hotels. We want you to eat our food. When it's time to play games, we want you playing our games.
Yes,
and shop in our mall and do all of that.
that's correct.
So there's an upside to wanting to do this. The Grand Music Fest is coming up starting in June. That'll
Yes.
run all year.
Essentially, it's the same concept. We want them to try the different music venues that we have. So they're going to get great discounts as well when they do that, the round. And then we're going to have a grand street party. That street party is the first time we're going to do it because we have not closed our streets. But we want to do it for the 10th year anniversary and just have like food trucks the whole day and then parties left and right within the whole street. And then probably ended up with a great concert at night. And it's going to be free because it's a street party.
I'd love to learn a little bit more about that because that's one of my favorite things is the walk from the Belmont over to the Maxims. It's a short enough walk and you get a chance to see, and I like it because you get to see all the different guests out there, all the different members of your service community.
That's true.
That kind of live and work in the same place.
That's true. We're going to have like our top chefs from different hotels do their own kind of like version of their food truck.
Okay, so now you guys know I'm a runner, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so
Steve was probably, I was with our CEO, Steve Riley, a few minutes ago. He just had to run. But he wanted to discuss that with you because he's a runner himself.
Right. So there's going to be the charity Run With Me X in August.
Yes. RWM, Run With Me.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
nice. Okay.
So,
Manila, Run With Me. That's nice.
we've been doing that for quite some time now. And it's actually well recognized.
What kind of run is it? The 5K, 10K, marathon?
It's actually the whole shebang. It's 5K, 10K, 21K, and
a 40.
And a 32K. Except 40 right now. Because right
we're
now.
not doing 40. Okay.
I know hardcore for you.
I just finished the 40.
I know. I was like, I know. It's hardcore. I said, Ray's actually going to run. I said, we're going to invite him to run. Actually.
Yeah, no, I'll go. August 20th. I'm not doing anything. Whatever that day is, I'm not doing anything. I'll go run.
Great. We'll, this is on record.
But, okay, so it's on record. Now, can I bring some friends with me from Guam?
Yes. In fact, we wanted to like dedicate a group for you guys. Like if you lead that group from Guam and then you guys win, because there's like prizes at the end, right? Like best finish, best finishes and all that time and all that. You can we'll donate money to your charity. That's how it goes because it all goes to charity.
The crazy thing about this, Martin, is I am actually my own charity. It's the Ray Gibson Super Fund, and so and anybody can contribute at any time. And just see me out there and put some money in my pocket.
Then that makes sense that you lead and spearhead this.
So now, can people start signing up for the race?
Is
that already online?
Yes. This May.
Okay,
it's coming this May. Yes.
Okay. Well, May is like day after a couple of days from now.
Yes, and everybody's excited for this. It's one of the biggest runs that we don't do a lot of runs actually. So, but this is like one that we're really looking for, and there's a lot of extras.
Do you have? I was going to say, are you working with any other sponsors that are going to make this more fun? Because I know Milo is big in the running community in
yes,
the
but what we do is because they have their own runs, they don't essentially in the Philippines. If, for example, Milo does their own run, Unilab has their own run, and all these, they don't really technically partner and do their separate runs. So what we do is we do our own run. It's all for charity, and we invite a lot of celebrities to actually join that run because for people who don't really run, they just like to walk. That's fine as well. And there are a lot of celebrities that want to see and walk with the celebrity.
Can you find Laurel for me?
Laurel?
I'll send you. She's on Instagram. D Laurel.
Yes. We know her actually.
Make her run in the race and I'll run
Laurel,
with her. Yeah.
Denise Laurel.
Yes, she's my friend.
Okay, great. We're going to get her to run. How's that?
We're kabayan.
You're kababayans. All right, cool.
I like that.
Cool.
Okay, everybody watch Ray work. This is how it goes. All right, run with me August the 25th, and details on Resorts World Manila and their website starting in just a few days. And they do want participation from Guam. So I would love to spearhead a delegation of folks to go out there.
We really had you in mind when we were first like, hey, let's invite Guam and let's have Ray spearhead that.
And can I wear my Speedo shorts?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
See, now nobody will want to come with me. 888-825-888-TALK. And last couple of things, we were talking about the entertainment. You mentioned Totally Jaja. Ang Huling El Bimbo.
Wow, your Tagalog is getting better every time.
Every time you come, yes. Bakit ako na naglalaway every time you walk by? I learned that in Malate. Anyway, so the Ang Huling El Bimbo. What is that?
That's
what
it. That's actually a title of the song. Translated in English, that would be The Last Dance. Okay, almost something like that, because that is one of the hit songs of Eraserheads.
I got
so
you.
that's the musical.
Okay,
And,
now the other thing, Bar 360, I want to make sure that everybody recognizes that there is a place called Bar 360, and it is, as you might imagine, it's kind of a 360-degree stage. There is no bad seat in the house, and every performance I've ever seen there, I've enjoyed.
Wow, yeah. We have another version of Bar 360 in the Grand complex that we have, the Grand Wing, called the Grand Bar. This one has a different feel to it. It's not it's not like a round bar, but the difference is the stage actually goes up and down for the ones on the second floor. So that's an amazing thing as well.
I will go on a tour with you in June.
Yes,
and then you can show everything off.
I'll actually
we'll do another
take you
thing.
through.
Yeah, and then you guys are going to be between June and say August. Maybe somebody can come back around and we'll do another interview. Yeah, and then we can get drum up more excitement for the the Run With Me race.
Yes, we need to.
Nothing more fun than traveling for a race, and as you might imagine, what could be more fun than traveling to a race in Manila?
Yes,
at Resorts World Manila
for charity.
Gotcha.
Great.
Oh yeah, charity, whatever. Yeah, okay. Well, that's all very, very nice. Now, what didn't make the sheet?
Essentially, I just want to say that we're also doing a Resorts World Manila golf series. Yeah, so it's the first Resorts World Manila Asia Pacific Golf Challenge. It's on October 21 to 26. Essentially, there'll be packages, and they can know it from our website. But there will be 4 courses that they're going to be playing with. So it's one of the best 4 courses that we have in the Philippines, and essentially there's a package for it. And it would be, again, this comes after the anniversary. Yeah. August is our anniversary month, and then so we're kind of celebrating the whole year almost.
30 seconds to go before the news starts. Sure. New Year's Eve, are we doing something big at
Grand Countdown is always there. All the stars are there, and we're just gonna count it down big way. Almost every single outlet in Resorts World will be counting it down.
If you can't get reservations on Guam, Manila is only 3.5 hours away by fast airplane. Martin, always fun seeing you.
Always great to see you.
And Archie, it's good to have you back home. And me and you and your brother are going to hang out together for the weekend, all right? It's 9 a.m. The radio station is KUSG. Haganya, Ray Gibson here. Fox News Live now.
Under quarantine, I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. 119 students and 8 faculty members at UCLA may have been exposed to measles and either have not been vaccinated or can verify they had. Quarantine orders also been in effect in Cal State as a small outbreak of the illness is occurring in Los Angeles County. Measles was thought to be eradicated in the U.S. 20 years ago.
6 states have multiple cases. Hardest hit, the ultra-Orthodox Jewish community in the New York City area. Possibly contributing to the spread of the disease, gatherings during the holiday of Passover. Suburban Rockland County declared its second measles state of emergency after 50 new cases were confirmed. Authorities say among the 390 cases in New York City are 2 pregnant women. Measles can cause a stillborn or miscarriage.
Fox's David Lee Miller. The CDC says 695 cases have been confirmed across the U.S. He made it official this morning. Former Vice President Joe Biden has entered the 2020 race, posting a video online calling it the battle for the soul of the nation.
If we give Donald Trump 8 years in the White House, he will forever and fundamentally alter the character of this nation, who we are. And I cannot stand by and watch that happen.
Biden is the 20th Democrat to enter the race. North Korea insisted the U.S. agreed to pay $2 million in medical expenses in 2017 for the care of Otto Warmbier before the college student was released. The Trump administration denies any money was paid to Pyongyang. Warmbier's parents sued the North, saying they are responsible for his death. New York's Attorney General announcing she's investigating Facebook's unauthorized storage of up to 1.5 million users' email contact databases. Last week, the company says it may have unintentionally uploaded email contacts of new users since May of 2016. This is Fox News.
Hey, it's Mom. Somebody forgot to thaw the chicken, so meet us at Chili's for 2 for $25. Oh, and congratulate your sister for making the basketball team. She's thrilled. Love you. See you at Chili's.
Enjoy 2 full meal combos for $25. An appetizer, 2 mouth-watering entrees like our crispy chicken breast, smoked barbecue quarter leg, or smoked jalapeno cheddar sausage. Served with corn on the cob and french fries. 2 bold combos for $25. A full-on meal deal available nightly for a limited time. Together, we Chili's.
GRMC's Neuroscience and Neurology Department treats a wide spectrum of disorders associated with the nervous system, spine, and brain. Some of the more common disorders include seizures, epilepsy, dementia, sleep disorders, migraine, and stroke, which is one of the leading causes of death on Guam. GRMC's neuroscience team is equipped with the latest technology and the finest neurological doctors. To make an appointment, contact GRMC Specialty Clinics at 645-5500.
Sri Lanka revising down the number of dead in the series of bombings on Easter Sunday by more than 100.
According to the health ministry, who blamed the mistake on a calculation error. New info also coming out about the ISIS-linked bombers. Among them, 2 wealthy upper-class Muslims, sons of a local spice mogul, who is one of 70 arrested. 2 attackers had also fought with ISIS in Iraq and Syria, and 2 had lived and studied in the UK and Australia. Today, the Sri Lankan defence minister stepped down after growing anger that the attack could have been prevented. And at least 2 more armed suspects are still being hunted. And authorities have suggested Catholic churches cancel Mass until security is improved. In London, Benjamin Hall, Fox News.
Jussie Smollett's final season 5 appearance grabbed the lowest ratings for Empire.
The final episode of Jussie Smollett's character on Empire, and possibly his last episode ever, aired Wednesday night to more low ratings for the series, coming in with a 1.1 rating, which is what the series has been hovering around since it first hit that low last month. And that occurred with the second episode to air after Smollett's arrest for allegedly faking a hate crime attack. Empire tied with Chicago Fire as the #2 show of the night in the key demo, with Wednesday's winner being CBS's Survivor. On the series, his character, Jamal, tied the knot with Kai. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
People looking to attend this summer's Woodstock 50 Festival will have to wait a little longer. Tickets for the 3-day festival, set for August 16th through 18th, were supposed to go on sale Monday. The festival released a statement today saying the sale's been delayed while they refine logistical plans. The festival is set to take place in Watkins Glen, New York, about 115 miles northwest of the original site, and separate from another concert planned at the site of the original festival in 1969. I'm Lisa Lacera, and this is Fox News.
In illness and in wellness, Calvo's Select Care is health care that is there for you. That's why over 80% of the Guam medical community places their trust and insures with us. We offer our members wellness and fitness programs for a healthier lifestyle and provide a comprehensive medical network on and off island to help members from unexpected illnesses. Contact Calvo's Select Care today for more information.
The Ray Gibson Show is being brought to you by APL. That's short for American President Lines, where they're shipping the future. The guys over at Micronesia Renewable Energy. There's never been a better time to go solar. And King's Restaurant, where they've still got that crazy 19 menu. Crazy as in 2019, what a crazy year to take all your favorites for breakfast, lunch, dinner, twist them up, turn them around, flip them upside down, and say, here, try it this way. Don't believe me that it's good? You have to try it today at King's in Tamuning and Harmon.
This is Ronnie. Ronnie is about to break his piggy bank.
Come on, piggy bank.
Ronnie wants to upgrade his smartphone.
And this piggy's gonna help me.
If Ronnie had signed up for GTA's handset payment option, he could have selected a new smartphone with an affordable monthly plan.
I could have what?
Exactly. Sign up for HBO at GTA and don't break the bank.
I'm sorry, piggy bank.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit gta.net for more information. GTA.
There's some more of the Ray Gibson Show brought to you by Guam Regional Medical Center, the first choice for your specialty care needs. Cars Plus, where they're driven by you. Don't believe me? Go find Joey and Jen and Dungeon. They will show you the lengths that they will go to get you into the right car at the right price. Also brought to you by Wendy's, where they've got that North Pacific cod meal. It's got the salad, it's got the sandwich, and then you wash everything down with this honest green tea. Good and good for you at Wendy's.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show.
Well, this could be a first, broadcasting live on 93.3 The Point, KUSG. We're also on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and for those of you that follow Joe Guam around, also on Instagram Live.
Instagram Live.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever done all of the big socials all at the same time.
That's how technology works here in this station.
Well, yeah, says the guy that's figured out how to put the technology to good use while he's actually gigging. This is Joe Guam is in the studio, and the reason why we got got Joe in the studios. Number one, it's always nice to get the guests in on Friday, talk about what's going on. I had a chance to see him warm up the crowd over at Proa last night.
Last night. Jesus Mossy for coming.
Hey, no problem. There was a couple that were there, and they just came to Guam. They were working with somebody over at Guam Memorial Hospital.
Guam Memorial
right?
Hospital.
And I heard you helping them get to know the island a little bit better. All while you were setting up for your gig. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's always a balance. I always tell the manager, I'm like, hey, if I'm like 5 minutes late because someone wants to come and talk to me, we're there for the people who are coming. So I'm not going to be like, excuse me, I got to stop. So,
I'm the star.
Yeah, no. That's not how it works. We try to give everybody attention. Yeah, really, really nice to have them. Really nice to have them come. There you go.
See, I want to make sure that everybody can see. There you go. Joe Guam now on Facebook Live. Okay, so so you got all these people that were there, and like I said, nice American couple just got to Guam, didn't know what was going on, found their way into Pro, and I thought these guys don't realize how lucky they've got it. They lucked into seeing one of Guam's premier, Pro-side, bar-side entertainers.
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So online, you can go to joeguam.com on the World Wide Web, and a very interesting thing. You can book him for whatever events you've got, and then song requests. So we were talking about the technology that allows us to go live on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram this morning, and basically the same kind of pipes that you use to have people make requests.
Yeah, that's
while
right.
You're playing.
Yeah. So what happened was I was sitting at a show and one day, and I always ask for requests. Yeah. That's one of the musicians' things we want to do. I mean, the whole goal when I stand behind a microphone is to connect with the audience, right? That's what I'm there for. If I can't connect with you, then my job's not done. So I was sitting there and I'm asking for requests, but I wasn't getting requests. Every now and then you'll get the one person who will yell out, something.
Or brave enough to get up and write it on a napkin.
Or write a napkin and bring it up. But I was looking at the folks who were just sitting in the chairs, and I was like, how do I connect with them? And I saw them all on their phones, and I was like, how do I get on their phone to get their song request for them? Not get on their phones to interrupt them or show them an ad, or not like that, but literally just to get a song request from them. So it was in my mind, it was buzzing me. This is something people don't know, but I was a computer system engineer at Microsoft before I went full-time musician. So at that night, I got up.
Why did you gig last night instead of watching Avengers? I thought you'd for sure be geeked out at that.
No, man, it wasn't. As a matter of fact, I know how to code. I'm just not. I'm not a coder. No. So that night I went home and I jumped out of bed, and my wife Jackie was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I have an idea in my head. I got to see if it's gonna work." So I jumped on the computer, did a little proof of concept, and sure enough, I was like, I can put my list of songs on there, and people can just send me a message. They don't have to say any words. And it's crazy because sometimes I'll get like one person at a show request like 15 songs, and I'm like, that's what I want.
Well, yeah.
I want
so at least one person is going to appreciate everything that you're throwing out.
Exactly. I'm like, I want to connect with you guys. So it was pretty awesome. It's awesome to be able to connect with the crowd, even though they don't want to be exposed or they don't want.
Do you ever have somebody that like sends you a request? I mean, like, can you get a request right now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I mean, somebody could go to Joe Guam and look up the library and go, okay, next time I see Joe, I want him to play these songs.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's really cool about it too is, let's say like you request a song and you put your name Ray Gibson in there. The next time I see you at a gig, I just type in Ray Gibson, and then I get all
the songs
that you've requested over the lifetime, and I just like, hey, Uncle Ray's here, and I can just play whatever songs he likes.
See, that's not bad at all. Joe Guam in the studio, and among the things that we're going to be talking about today, a little bit of back me up. We'll go back in time a little bit because it wasn't that long ago that you did that show at St. Luke's.
Right, that was a pretty powerful show.
I heard it was a very powerful show. So for everybody that missed the conversation, how did it go?
It ran really well. We had about 100 to 125 people.
That's a good
come and go. Yeah, we learned some lessons definitely out there, specifically regarding like. Don't do it on a Friday, because we had folks who came early, and they came early because they're like, hey, Joe, we can only stay for half an hour because, I mean, this gentleman had physical therapy treatment. I'm not sure what his condition was, but he was in a wheelchair. So he's like, I have to leave. I wanted to come early just to kind of hang out because I have to leave at 30 minutes in the show.
Yeah.
We had some folks come like an hour late because they literally just got out of dialysis. So, I mean, it was a pretty powerful event. There was a lady who was having open heart surgery the next morning.
Aye.
So she was really appreciative, and I got to say, man, being in the musician mindset at that time, someone requested, Ruby's take me back.
Oh my God.
And again, being in the musician mindset, I'm like, I'll play whatever request you want. I'm here for you guys. I'll play whatever you want. And as soon as I started playing it and the words came out, I was like, this is not
Takes
the
on
right
a different
song.
meaning, right?
And everyone started crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had to pull it together to, just kind of put it, give everybody what I could. But it was really powerful. Thanks to all the partners for that one, we were able to raffle off and give out 50,000 pesos in cash just to all of the patients. We did 14 different prizes, and just broke up the 50,000 pesos. 50,000 pesos, just a little over $1,000.
I was going to say, so either a little over $1,000 or 50 cents. I'm not sure. Which
Right, a little over $1,000.
I'm
right.
never good with Philippine money.
We broke it up, and we were able just to give them cash because we know that's what they need out there. So when we were there, we, just something to use for food.
You can stretch those pesos because it's Manila. Not all parts of Manila, but there are some places where you can get some really, really great deals. So you going back? Have you started talking about the return?
Some people were asking, are we going to do this annually? Just to be honest, that production was tiring. I was really exhausted.
Well, I'm not going to say you did it wrong because I've never done anything like that myself, but I have kind of flown into places within hours of going on the air live from those locations, and then tearing down and then moving on. So I mean, and so you kind of did the same thing.
Yeah.
You flew in, executed, and then flew out that night.
That was it. And the reason for that is the flights only run Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah, so you got to work that out with and figure out a different way to work that schedule. And maybe do more shows, but that would block out some of the gigs that you're going to be doing here. For which this and here's the marketing part. I don't think there's anybody in the business community that would not sponsor this trip.
Oh man!
You think about like the guys that I was just talking to a few minutes ago, Resorts World Manila. I'm sure that they'd love to get in front of that somehow between Cebu Air,
maybe
Philippine
we can
Air,
connect
United, and just have people go out there and say, okay, this is how we're going to support the event and make sure that you're still making enough money to eat while you're off island
and feed my family. Yeah.
Oh yeah, not just you eating. That's kind of what I meant. So when you start having that conversation again, hit me up and I'll see if I can put you in touch with people that would want to find a way to help one way or the other. So get the sponsorship behind all of that. Now the other thing is, and we don't generally get a chance to play a lot of music in this radio station, but I think we make an exception for Joe Guam because you got a new album coming out, right?
Oh, this is just a single.
It's just a single.
This is just a single, right? So we've kind of switched up our strategy just because of the evolution of kind of how music is pushed out, right? We're not pushing out vinyls or CDs, so we just as a single. It's our first original Chamorro single, and we've been working on this one, so we're really excited about this one.
So he sent me the link a couple of days ago, and I'm listening to the song, and I'm going, oh my God, this has got the feel of old school Chamorro music.
Well, that's what we were brought up on, old school with a new school delivery, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the acoustically it's solid, right? I mean, so I'm listening to the song, and obviously, you've got some good production skills behind it.
Thank you.
So the mix is really, really good. But I'm listening to the song, and I'm going back to J.D. Crutch era, Johnny Sablon. I'm feeling a little bit of Gus and Dahl. I mean, it just got this. I want to hang out at Sodi's listening to this song. It's got that feel.
That's when we wrote this. I wrote this song with my wife Jackie, right? She did a lot of the music for it, and then we had a combination. So when we wrote it, we were like, what do we want? What do we want in this song? And I said, you know what I want? When I go down to the beach, I want to hear someone playing this song over maybe like a song from the States.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like another island song from maybe like West Side. I go, that's what I want. I want a chill, easy song. I'm not trying to knock off the charts. I'm not trying to do anything. I just want a chill, easy Chamorro song that we can all connect with. Something super simple. So that's the way we tried to write it. But, you mentioned all those old-time classics, J.D. Crutch.
Yeah. Well, I know you've got a dream of, and because it's the same dream that I have in my head. We've got some incredible talent out now, musical talent, singing talent, and I just think it would be great if we give just find somebody and say, okay, Big Ben and Amani, this is your song. This is a song, and it was popular in Guam in 1959, 1965, right? It's one of the OG Chamorro songs, and you do it your way.
Cover
Right.
it.
And somebody recently did a remake of Hagu from Floribaza, right? And outstanding job, but I know that everybody's got their own version in them. with that song. Right? And
There's a musical offering they bring, right?
And who wants to take on all of the Bukungo songs?
Right, exactly. According to Shabe, his son, he has 37 that he recorded.
Oh, yeah. Well, the 37 that he recorded, but he wrote a whole bunch more for all kinds of other people. You know, he did. It's one of my prized possessions. It was a CD that they came out with in, I don't know, 90 something, right? 94, 95, and it was based on the Saluda program, right? It was a government of Guam employee recognition thing.
Oh, awesome.
And so they contracted with Bukungo, Defuntu, and they contracted him to write songs for each department and agency.
Wow.
And so
That's
my
a task.
favorite one is the one that he did for DPW Solid Waste.
I gotta hear that.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. You know, and the guy could write a song in 20 minutes on the back of a matchbook cover.
God.
He was just an awesome,
talent.
prolific guy. Yeah. So it'd be great to see people, you know, with today's technology, today's voices, expectations. I think of what a younger, hip millennial Chamorro crowd is going to be interested in.
That's what we're trying to bring, just a little bit of that modern flair. But yeah.
So this is the part you're going, okay, Ray. Now we're done impressing me with your knowledge of Chamorro music and hits. I knew all those guys. Just by the way, I knew all of those guys.
And we looked up to those guys.
Still do, because some of them owe me money still. And anyway, 9:18 in the morning. Now Magahit is the title of the song.
Again.
Some of the other lyrics in there for people that might not necessarily understand spoken or sung Chamorro.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to explain the song?
So the song really talks about our island, our people, and it also talks about like how the beauty of our island kind of is what we live for today, and then it kind of takes a little different turn into talking about taking a piece of that beauty, which is like a guy and a girl, you know, like, hey, what would happen if we kind of just met each other? You know, would you kind of come my way? Would you know, would it work out for us? And then asking, you know, give me your heart, give me your soul. And then he talks about, hey, you know, you're the only one that I love. So you can kind of think of it as a guy or a girl, or you can actually kind of think of it as you to the island.
Oh.
In a way. So if you think about it.
Well, let's hear some of it. For the very first time, I think, in the history of this of the radio station and the morning show here, Joe Guam and Magahit.
Kahit kau bonito dan garpu Afahaw puntogwi dan nginon liidu Kopunhana gini magigifion hu Afahaw puntogwi dan nginon diiha Na idu kirida e coração-mu. Bonito amo todos que es la Kahit kau bonito dan garpu Haguha kirida ikwinai zaku Haguha nina indus Haguha bonita senguinai zaku Haguha todo e tempo todos que es la Kahit kopo nito dyan garpu. Men bonito hamzu todos kislaku. Kahit kopo nito dyan garpu.
Man, was my description about right? I mean, it's just got this old school feel to it. It's got a little islandy thing. I can feel the Hawaiian influence for sure in there. Yeah. But there's and the first thing that you will notice, and I think my friend Lynn Perez caught this as well. We're using the easy Chamorro words in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of the easy ones so you feel free to sing this out loud because we're not giving you any of the hard words where you have to like do the aerobatics with your mouth and your accents.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to keep the concepts and ideas of the lyrics in there simple. I mean, there's a time where we can make it complex, but for this one, we wanted it to be nice and simple. It would be amazing if there would be like an elementary school group of like ukulele kids who play ukulele. One day would come in and they would sing that song for me. I would love to come and hang out with them.
Because you made an easy song, and you know it's just one of those things. Kelly Rodriguez online says I'd play this song over a stateside song. Nice. Cousin Tommy Barcina says what does Tommy say? Buenas, Joe Guam.
Hey,
nice
buenas, Tom.
Yeah, listening up in Sinania.
That's right.
And so all kinds of people here now exposed to the song, and you can download that for nothing on the website. Right?
It will be all free tomorrow to the public, so it'll be all on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. I mean, iTunes is not free.
How'd you do that?
We published it. It'll all be there tomorrow.
What I mean, what's the process? Anybody can do that?
Yeah, pretty much. Like if you're interested in that, I can try to help you out. But so we use an aggregator service, is what it's called.
Right.
Everybody, all independent artists out there use it too. So yeah,
this is even more interesting to me. So because I'm wondering how many other people might have a song or two in their heads and
want to
get it out there.
Yeah,
so get it out, get the recording done.
Right.
Recording in 2019 is unbelievably easy. There's all kinds of free software that you can get that will give you whatever WAV files that you need, and we suggest that you do everything with WAV because it's there's uncompressed and we're not trying to get rid of audio to save space, right? So record at the highest bandwidth that you possibly can to help you in the mix down process. So all of the software that you need is out there and available. So all you got to concentrate on is how to get that into the computer, into your recording computer. And if you go to over to American Music, find anything that has the words M Audio on it, and that's one of the easiest ways to get any instrument or microphone into the computer.
They got a lot of stuff to get you started if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah,
they got a lot of stuff. So shout out to those guys over there. We work with them a lot. So yeah, they got a lot of stuff to get you started over there. But
so you took it to who did you take it to Ambrose to take care of the mix down?
Actually, I did all the pre-production, production, recording, and mixing in my studio. Yeah. But thank you so much to the Budweiser Jam House and the folks at Ambrose for supporting us. They really helped us with our recording and mastering expenses. So thank you, Jesus Masi, to all of them because they're helping us present this release to everybody.
So I imagine that you're going to be at the Jam Houses all summer long?
I've been at the Jam House, every Jam House, for the past 6 years. Because that is such an awesome vibe, man.
So that's where I discovered Ben and Imani last year.
Awesome.
Was at the Jam House, and I think they play every Friday over at Moses. And it's just it's such a great sound. In fact, I'll make a plug for Moses. Virtually every night they've got some great music. Yeah, and they got a guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy does girl parts better than most girls.
Oh wow!
You know who I'm talking about?
No.
You've seen the guy jam, I'm sure.
Oh.
But it's a guy on percussion. There's another girl that's doing regular girl songs, and then this guy will come in. I want to say does like Natalie Cole tunes and stuff like that. He's just got a pure falsetto. It's beautiful. Just a great thing to listen to. Anyway, so yes, I'm sorry, you wanted to do something? You wanted me to look at something? I'm sorry, my producer is trying to get my attention. Can I play that tomorrow morning during my show on Boss? Yes, you may play that song tomorrow morning on your show on Boss.
Right on.
Yeah, because it's Joe Guam and everybody.
Jesus Masi for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So now getting back to the aggregator services.
Yeah.
So once you've got a mix down of a song, so the publishing thing is you just send it to like one place and they will publish it to a variety of.
Yeah, there's a couple of them out there. So folks will know the name like CD Baby. They'll know. a Muse, I believe, Muse, and then DistroKid is another one. So there's a bunch of these aggregators out there, and yeah, we published it to Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon, right, streaming, Deezer as well. iTunes, they charge, so we have to charge because there's no other way to get it out there, right? They'll charge us, free. Right? They'll charge us if we make it free. So
because it's Apple,
right? Exactly. So it's on iTunes, but we're also, to make this song available to everybody. We've shot a video of it, and it's gonna be free on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and IGTV. So you'll be able to have that song, pull it up anytime you want.
I was going to say, so the aggregator, obviously there's album art or Joe Guam art that goes along with this. So when I play it on Spotify, I'll see your face.
It comes up. Actually, I kind of made a motion for this song that I didn't want me on there on the album art.
He's had enough of Joe Guam.
Well, it's more importantly because like this one talks about magahit gov bonito Zangatbu, right? And we're talking about the island. So I wanted a picture that really made people feel like they're in the island. So if you see the album art, it's just some coconuts that I took down at our beach, and so it was a really nice positioning of the coconuts that were just laid out there, and I didn't even touch the coconuts. I walked up and I was like, hey, that's a nice positioning that nature gave us, and let's just take a picture of that.
Yeah, see, now you say coconuts, I'm thinking about something completely different. But then we'll just save that for a different conversation. That's also Gof Bonito. Or Bonita. 9:28 is in the morning, and Joe, it's always a pleasure. We were talking about other acts out there and other people that are gigging, so, you're, I'm sure every once in a while you'll find yourself thinking, yeah, I want to go watch her, or I want to go watch them. Who have you been keeping an eye out for?
One of the things, I was just having this conversation with some folks, musician friends of mine. One of the things we love to do is we love live music, but we're always playing when other people are playing. So that's the life of a musician, right? I think everybody knows that. But man, we've got a lot of great talent out there. I mean, if you've ever gone to see the Monster Squad, they're amazing. Of course, Jesse and Ruby play pretty much every night, I think, down at Outrigger, right? And then, of course, you have all the folks.
You got Monster Squad, but that's, and Monster Squad is made up of, different parts of different groups as well. So you can catch those guys gigging somewhere.
Everywhere, right?
But Jen, I've just always loved watching Jen perform.
Oh my
whether
God.
it was back in the old days in Tuma,
Casa.
Casa days, right? So you get to, and then see
Mike Hartendorf on piano.
And she can still do the bouncing around like she was doing 20 years ago at Casa. It's been 20 years.
It's really awesome. I know I'm gonna leave out some folks, but there's just so many bands. I mean, if you look at what Acoustic Attack did with just a compilation of all the artists that were on there, I mean, that was just like a live thing. I threw this out on social media. I don't know if you mind me bringing it up, but I threw this out on social media a while ago. I had a crazy idea in my head of like, what if all of the Guam artists literally just released independently, so not under any label, nobody benefiting from this, but what if all the Guam artists released one single on the same day? We would trend social media. The headline that I wrote on the social media post was, imagine this title, 30 Guam artists drop a single on one day.
Why not?
Like, how crazy would that be to show the elevation of Guam music? So I threw that out there, and a whole bunch of musicians came back like, man, I'm down for this. I could do this 6 months out. Yeah, so we're looking at, I tossed out a date of October 4, which is a Friday, and it's 6 months away.
That's Boss 104, 10-4.
Hey, it's good, nice. So we can, we'd love. I just have a feeling that and I kind of got the idea. Those events, the Mala de Tafanchesa events, right?
Yeah.
You have a whole bunch of different chefs coming into one event to do nothing but elevate Guam culinary arts, right? That's what they do. And I was like, why can't we do that with music? Everyone just drop independently. There's there's no ulterior motive. Like, there's not some release label that's going to benefit or make money. Literally, just all of us just drop one song individually on October 4. It would be amazing for Guam music.
Literally, yes. Literally, all of the eyes of musical social media is going to be looking at Guam saying, because it's never been done before.
Never been done.
I've never seen anybody do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Joe, as usual, innovator and love what you're doing. if for no other reason, it's one of the first things that I noticed about Joe is the incredible amount of technology that he uses on stage to bring the music to bring it to life is the way I want to describe it. So so you and I think we're kindred spirits in that regard. 'Cause,
Right,
you know,
thanks.
I like my toys as
Technology,
well.
yeah.
Tech and toys. That's what we're all about. And then, you know, you've got all of the other innovations that you're working on. We're all about that here as well, with the HD broadcasting and Facebook Live and YouTube Live and all of that stuff. Oh, you like my monitors?
Well, because I got the same ones.
You got the same ones?
Yeah, well,
these are
got hooked up from
the Dr. Renee Coven.
Guam Earring Doctor. Shout out. We got the same time.
Yeah, so these are, they're, you might notice that I wear the earpiece in one ear, but not the other. And the reason why, and very technical, and the musician in the studio will understand what this is all about, is these are made specific, custom molds, right? So when I put this one in my ear,
Can't hear anything.
I can't hear anything in the outside of the
32
studio.
decibels cuts out.
Yeah,
right.
immediately, all frequencies. So, this is exactly that. I have not taken these out to the beach or running just yet.
So, you know, I do the same thing when I play my live show. I always have one ear in, but one ear's out to make sure that I have live presence of the ambient room.
Yep. Yeah,
Right.
so you want to be able to hear
Same
what's
thing.
going on around you.
Shout out to Guam Earring Docs.
Yeah, Renee, love you back. 9:32 in the morning. Joe, good luck to you, and we'll talk again soon when the follow-up to Magahet comes out.
That's right. Zeus Mossy, thank you very much, everybody.
iConnect time in the studio. It's 9:32. Swing by the nearest iConnect and learn about great plans that they've got for your mobile, internet, even push-to-talk. 888-8888.
Get a free Polar Pop any size when you fuel up on $35 or more of premium high-performance fuel. Conditions apply. See stores for details. Circle K. Take it easy. Get a free coffee any size when you fuel up on $35 or more of premium high-performance fuel. Conditions apply. See stores for details. Circle K. Take it easy. Get $5 off any Circle K car wash package when you purchase $35 or more of premium high-performance fuel. Conditions apply. See stores for details. Circle K. Take it easy.
The University of Guam presents Tritons Out Loud. Celebrate a day of diversity on Friday, April 26th at the University of Guam Calvo Fieldhouse from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come out and experience the opening parade, food trucks, fashion and entertainment, and more.
Let's have some fun.
This event is open and free to the public. Join the first ever Diversity Day, where we celebrate unity, pride, sexuality, individuality, and diversity of the Triton and Island community. Tritons Out Loud.
Nate says, checking out early. Have a good weekend, Ray and Mike. Yeah, that's the plan. Lynn Vince Borja Polino says, food truck Sundays at Skinner would be a great format to have local musicians showcase their art. You're absolutely right. That is a nice spot. I tell you what. I'm really enjoying what is going on in the downtown Agutnia area these days. There always seems to be something happening. It used to be just like Wednesdays, and you got Chamorro Village, but it seems like almost every night of the week you can get down into the downtown capital city and find some kind of trouble to get into, and I think that is absolutely cool. Last night, strolling around Skinner Plaza, around the museum area, and they had all the food trucks going off on the side. Just nice. Just nice, and I think there's a lot of families that kind of enjoy that kind of recreation. So very cool. What we seem to be. They should do that once a month. Maybe. Yeah, and I don't know what the schedules are with these guys, right? Hey, there's Debbie Picklesheimer. Hey, there's Troy Torres. I'm for cousin Troy. Who are you going to be ragging on today? Yesterday, going into the meeting of the parole board, and discovered on behalf of the rest of the media that Michelle Titano is still on the board. Wait a second. I thought they replaced her with somebody else. But I guess that's not the case. We'll take a look at some of the news stories on that here in just a little bit. I see Gina Kono was there. Anyway, I was about to riff on something. It's hard now because so many of them have passed away already. But there was a time in the last century before the war where that was kind of a big deal, where everybody would show up at the Plaza de España and listen to the bands that were playing on the bandstand that was out there, and just kind of walk around. And I got to imagine that it was kind of the version of their food truck Thursdays, like that back in the 30s and the early parts of the 1940s. Maybe used the food truck downtown thing to kind of relaunch that over at the Plaza de España, which has got to be the selfie capital of downtown Guam anymore, right? with that big GUAM that they have over by the church. Probably among the most photographed items that are out there. 888-8888, 888-TALK is the telephone number. Paul Tapau on the line, and you want to talk about your busier guys at the police department. Been a lot of police activity to discuss in the last couple of days, up to and including all of the different DUI checkpoints. That's going to go until what, Friday next week?
Yes, you're correct. Thank you again for the opportunity to, share this information with the community. So we have initiated our DUI enforcement to another level. We're actually going to be, since April 24th to May 5th is when we're going to be doing stationary and roving DUI enforcement throughout the island of Guam. So really, be smart, designated, responsible, sober driver. If you choose to celebrate with alcohol or recreational cannabis, just word of caution, our officers are trained in all sorts of...
we detect just about anything. There's a story, it's kind of alarming here, about Johanna Babauta Javier Tatautau. There's that last name again. Is this guy related to Chris Tatautau that you guys just picked up last week for the robberies?
I do believe so. There's some sort of relation there. And then William Yamanang.
Yamanang is his name. Okay, that's how it's pronounced. William Yamanang. Are there any recent sightings of these guys?
No, that's why the Guam Police Department had reached out to to our media partners to help spread the word and the awareness of what we're doing. With the recent arrests of some of the robbery cases that we've reported, and we've actually made apprehension. We have these three individuals are being sought after for questionings relative to a slew of other robberies that may have been committed, and to include some other theft-related cases. So we do know for a fact that these individuals are armed and are considered dangerous. So we are asking the community to please adhere to safety. Do not approach and just call 911 immediately. Give a good description of the vehicle, license plate, direction of where you are at, and we can disseminate that information to our officers who are out and about in patrol, and our detectives who are working around the clock to bring closure to this case.
Okay, kind of concerning, because it's not very often that you hear the language "armed and dangerous" and a warning "do not approach" associated with people. Certainly, somebody like Johanna Babauta, it's rare enough, but now it includes a woman who might be the Bonnie of the Bonnie and Clydes here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that, we're going to relate it to, and we don't want it to really people living vicariously and with other characters and everything, or, something of historical nature. But we do understand what we're faced with, and, we want to assure the community that, just to remain vigilant. Don't live in fear, but remain vigilant, and, heighten your awareness and be prepared, and, it'll really put you in a mindset of readiness, and that's where we need to be. So, I want to err on the side of caution. If you do see these individuals, please contact the 911 dispatchers or straight to our dispatchers at 472-8911.
Right. And there was another thought that I had in my head. Is there a car that has been associated with this trio? Is there a vehicle that maybe people ought to be on the lookout for as they're driving around this weekend?
We don't have any information of a vehicle. We're basing it off of where they are originally from, or their last known address, and where they frequent. So we're giving the community a vicinity of where they might be, or where they may come back to. And we're asking family members that, this is your opportunity to really make a difference in the community, because you may not know it, but by you providing information, you're providing help, not just to the Guam Police Department and the community, but these individuals who may actually need help and assistance. We're going to pretty much, identify this as, ask the reasons why. Why are they committing these crimes? Is it because of the fact that they want to provide for the family, or is it
not like that's an excuse, but okay, anybody who's got a problem, we'll see if we can help you solve it. But in the meantime, stop being such a menace to the community, and stop make it so that people don't necessarily have to live in fear and condition orange as they're driving around their home villages, now starting to look around for these people. So if you know them, if you think maybe you've seen them, let the police department know what kind of car you might have seen them in, the vicinity that they were in, and a decent enough description of what they're wearing, and then let the cops take care of it. They've got the tools, they've got the training, and the wherewithal to be able to make an apprehension of these guys that is safe for them and the community.
Yes, thank you so much. You hit her spot on with that. Right
Not a problem, buddy. We're here to help.
Yeah, thank you. That's why I stress that. Let's hit up all our media partners and anywhere in which we can provide information via social media or to the airways, to print or to video. This is really important that these individuals that we're looking for, we bring them in and we question them and hopefully bring some closure to some cases that we've been working on.
Good. I'll be looking forward to seeing how that happens, and I hope that if they are found guilty of any offenses against the community, businesses in the communities, and individuals, that they have the book thrown at them so they're not a problem for us anymore. You got 3 people in there, and there's always a great case to be made for a plea bargain for at least one of them. Hey, I got to run, Paul. You have a good weekend. I'll see you out there, and it probably won't be in the form of what do you call that? The checkpoints.
Yeah, we're going to be there. Again, designate, be a responsible individual and do the part, help keep the community safe. Designate a responsible, sober driver. If you should choose to indulge in adult beverages or any recreational cannabis,
I'm just going to walk.
Yeah, and enjoy the trip. So
and just drink in the front yard. That's the way to do it. Hey, buddy, I got to run. I'll talk to you pretty soon. Have a good weekend. As Paul Tapal from the police department there, and the 3 persons of interest, and let the police be interested in them. If you see them, then say something, drop a dime, and let the world know what's going on. Hafizina Kono and Evelyn Alagasi Trinidad is online this morning, playing around with the Facebook Live. Linda Salas, Terry DeBold, Kelly Rodriguez, and Tim Rock, and Shane Quintanilla. Shane, buddy, how you doing? Shane, I've been trying to drop your name. I know a bunch of guys, audio, video, digital marketing business, and I say, I met this young guy, Shane from GCC. Maybe there's a job out there for him. May Arile is online with me as well. It's nice to see some familiar names. Tedo from the ranch, that's cool.
Yeah, I just got my hands on some tea. You need to try it. Some tea. Yeah. Some nice
So
tea.
at the thing that I was at last night, it's noisy tea that you've got there. I got at the thing last night, CBD gummy bears.
Oh, yes. Did you try one?
I tried 4.
Oh, that may have been too many.
Well, they came by. They put them on toothpicks, 2 at a time, and the lady came by twice, and so I took them twice.
So how did you like them?
It tastes like gummy bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not exactly like gummy bears. There was
they got a little.
There was a little, I don't know, like a licking a battery flavor.
It's kind of a that taste.
Yeah. It wasn't something where I'd say, well, this is what I want to eat while I'm at the movies.
But how did you like the effect? Did you sleep nicely?
There was an effect.
Yeah.
I don't know. You always ask me about what my experience is with CBD this and the CBD that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel any. The pain in my neck is still there. How's that?
I mean, how many beers had you had before you took them?
Because
that makes a difference. That
2.
that really makes a difference. I mean, alcohol will kind of detract from the CBD because they're kind of competing for the same brain functions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whereas you normally feel a certain way drinking beer, you might not have noticed a difference taking a CBD.
Yeah. So I mean, if I had to do a decision tree, then I'd probably stick with the beer.
Yeah.
Because that's my poison. That's the stuff that I like, and I don't want something. I don't want to take something that will blunt the effect of the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and somebody had said that too, and the point that they were making was, oh, good, we've got these now, and I said, why? And they said, because this will reduce the effect of the hangover.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I had not heard that, and sadly didn't drink enough to test the theory because it was a school night.
No, generally speaking, the hangover thing, you'll need to take it the next morning. When you get up maybe and you feel really bad, go ahead and pop a CBD gummy, and in about an hour, you'll start to feel a whole lot better.
But won't I have the same effect by taking anything that's got sugar in it?
No, it's not sugar.
It's not the sugar that's doing it?
No. It's a CBD. No.
Anyway, all right. Well, whatever. Playing around with it if you can. And question I got yesterday, because I don't know why it seems to be a regular topic of conversation with CBDs and things like that. And somebody had asked me a question about the effects of the CBD and where you could buy it. And generally, in the 25-cent answer is it's the benefits of cannabis without the high from the THC.
Right.
And you can buy it in lots of different places on Guam and anymore. If you don't see it, ask for it. You know, I think it's one of those things where there is already a pretty interesting distribution network that is starting to bubble up in this community, and a lot of businesses might be on the fence, might be going, well, I don't know, what do I want to carry it? What if I buy a whole bunch of it and it doesn't sell? Yada yada yada. So if you're in a store and you know, and there's a store that you frequent for whatever reason, ask, do you have any CBD? It's possible, you know, I can see this stuff getting sold at gas stations soon. So you might want to, next time you're at 76 or Shell or Mobile, you know, they've got the section in the back with the vape juices and the marijuana rolling papers and all kinds of other stuff. Just say, hey, do you sell CBD products here?
Yeah, and that's very likely because, again, the CBD is not controlled by the FDA in terms of the drug. I mean, and the FDA doesn't mind CBD products. What they are having a problem with is CBD-infused foods because that actually hasn't been approved.
Right.
That's a whole different animal. But CBD stuff, derivatives, and the oils and the gummies and those types of things, yeah, you can find those in a lot more places.
Okay. 888-825-5888-TALK. We weren't able to hook up with her today, but maybe on Monday, see if I can get Tina Rose Munya Barnes on to talk about a couple of things going on over at the legislature. I hesitate to say why, because I know that there are people in competing newsrooms and competing stations that are going, why does Ray want to talk to Tina Rose Munya Barnes? What's going on there? And so if I say it on the radio today, then it'll be in the newspaper tomorrow, and I won't have a chance to talk about it until Monday. But you know what? I'm all about giving. I'm all about sharing. And so here's the question that I would have asked her. What is up with there are a number of measures on the legislative calendar that have been added to the legislative website. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 15, at least 15 new bills that have been introduced at the legislature's website. And each one of them provides for a certain amount of money to the Guam Visitors Bureau. So one measure says, okay, here's $50,000 for the Guam Visitors Bureau. Next one, here's $40,000 for the GVB. Here's $25,000. Here's 40. Here's 150. Here's 40. Here's 40. Here's 40. And it goes on like that. You add up all of the numbers, it comes out to about $615,000. And so the question I have is, why don't we just have one bill that says we're appropriating $615,000 to the Guam Visitors Bureau, as opposed to a number of individual bills at smaller amounts? And I cracked open the seal on the first two of them, and frankly they looked identical. The only thing that changed was the dollar amount, and I'm going, what are we trying to accomplish here?
Yeah, that leads one to wonder what's going on with that. You know, that's how
inquiring minds want to know. And you know, did they leave $615,000 out of spend for GVB in the 2019 budget that now we have to restore? I don't know. So that's the question. And like I said, there are people in news departments all over Guam that are now dialing Chirag, saying, okay, I heard Ray Gibson say, you're welcome. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the weekend now. You have story from Ray Gibson Show. 10 away from the top of the hour. Here, you want another story? I don't know if I ought to be delighted that Guam now has a ship named after it. It's the 4th ship ever in the United States Navy's fleet to be named after Guam.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of ship?
It's a gray one, I'm sure. Normally it's Navy. They make those things gray. The Navy will christen its newest high-speed transport vessel, the future USNS Guam, during a 10 a.m. ceremony Saturday, April the 27th.
Well, at least it goes fast.
Isn't that great? But here's the thing. The ship, the USNS Guam, is going to be christened in Okinawa. What the hell?
They couldn't just bring the thing a few miles this way.
It's only 1,000 miles. Was it built in Okinawa? No, because I think all the big shipyards would be in Sasebo. But if it's a Navy ship, they wouldn't have built it in Japan. They would have built it in America. Yeah. So it's an American ship named after Guam, but they're christening it in Okinawa. Okay, somebody from the High Command has got some splaining to do, if you ask me. The USNS Guam is named to honor the long-standing historical and military relationship between Guam and the United States. She will be the 4th ship to bear the name Guam. We are there to honor the long-standing historical and military relationship. We're a colony. This is the nature of the relationship. We're a colony. Minor possessions of the United States in the drop-down list, right? So we're honoring the long-standing historical and military relationship between Guam and the United States by christening the ship in a foreign country.
Nice.
Hello? Disconnect. Who put this together? Ocasio-Cortez?
Mr. Bavacqua will probably put forth some sort of resolution to have it renamed the USNS Oppressed.
Well, you know, and I don't normally jump into that pool, right? You know, I just thought it was interesting, and we got this Guam ship out there, and you know, we've had others before, and so why are we not christening a ship named Guam in honor of the special relationship, historical and military, between the United States and Guam? Why are we doing this in Okinawa? Somebody got to maybe you know what? Habu snakes. They're there. The ship is there to defend Okinawa from the devastating effect of the habu snakes that they've got there. The ship honors the island of Guam and important contributions Guamanians have made to our nation and our Navy and Marine Corps team, according to Richard V. Spencer, the Secretary of the Navy. For decades to come, USNS Guam and its crew will carry on the Guamanian tradition of service by providing our commanders with much-needed high-speed sea lift mobility and agility. Again. The Guamanian tradition of having Guam stuff done in Okinawa. Long before Guam joined the U.S. as a colony, the island had a military relationship with the U.S. The long-standing historical and military relationship between Guam and the U.S. began in 1898 when the U.S. acquired the island from Spain as a result of the Treaty of Paris that ended the Spanish-American War. Shortly after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the Japanese captured Guam. Rub it in. And they occupied it until U.S. troops retook the island July 21st. Commemorated in Guam every year is Liberation Day. Guam continues to host many critical U.S. military installations. but we ain't getting a taste of Guam. We're not getting on board that ship. USNS Guam, an aluminum catamaran designed to be fast, flexible, and maneuverable, even in austere port conditions, making the vessel ideal for transporting troops and equipment quickly, but never to Guam. USNS Guam's 25,000-square-foot Mission Bay areas can be quickly reconfigured for any cargo requirement, from supporting disaster relief to transporting troops and equipment.
That's one of those cool-looking ships, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it.
I believe I've been in ships similar to this in my history. Actually, I believe I've been in ships similar to this that were stowed away underneath in the underbelly of aircraft carriers. The ship preceded in service by patrol gunboat USS Guam, which was renamed Wake in 1941, then captured by the Japanese later that year. The Alaska-class large cruiser USS Guam, which was in service between 44 and 47, and two Iwo Jima-class amphibious assault ships, the USS Guam, which was in service from 1965 to 1998. I want to say, wasn't there, Uncle Robert would know, but didn't we also have, wasn't there a USS Guam that was a helicopter carrier?
That I'm not sure.
Yeah. Do you have pictures of the new and improved USS Guam?
This used to be one of the Hawaii super ferries.
The ship?
Yes. Yeah, because when they had the super ferries there in Hawaii, they ran back and forth between Oahu, Maui, and Big Island. But they stopped it because
of the whales.
Yeah, for everything. So evidently the Navy bought it, the Huakai, and repurposed it as the USNS Guam.
Really?
Yeah.
What an interesting. The further story to make that story interesting, that particular catamaran that was discussed as part of an idea to run shuttle up and down the Mariana Islands.
Wow.
Guam, Rototini, and Saipan.
Well, maybe it is coming here then. Just saying.
So I don't know. Look, I got a lot of friends in the high command, and let me just say this ought to be making somebody shiver up around the admiral's office. Somebody has got to go. How did we get so tone deaf on this that we're going to christen a ship in honor of the island of Guam and the special characterization of the relationship, both militarily and historically, with the United States government? Why are we christening the Guam ship in honor of the Guamanian tradition in Okinawa? Aye. Somebody going to lose a stripe on this. It's 9:56, and I got to take a break.
Docomo Pacific's all-new business bundles provide tailored solutions to help your business become a better business. Choose from our business basic, essential, or value bundles and get unlimited talk and text, worry-free data at home and abroad, plus access to the fastest online speeds in the Marianas. Add on mobile or broadband lines and save up to 20% for each line. Email businesssales@docomopacific.com to find out which bundle provides the best solution for your business. Terms and conditions apply.
Security Title is honored to join in sponsoring Ray Gibson on The Point. Half a day. I'm Rita Tidegui of Manila, and this is where I start my day, listening to the voices of our community and sharing thoughts about issues that affect all of us. It all boils down to our people and our land. Ingatan ang iyong tahanan, protect your home. When purchasing or refinancing your home, remember to call the professionals at Security Title, just like you call Ray Gibson in the morning.
Reference her 15 appropriations bills. The nonprofits, this is from Kevin Kerrigan at the Guam Daily Post. The nonprofits have complained that GVB has not released the funds that were appropriated to them in the 2019 budget, so she introduced individual bills to require that these payments get made. I hope each one of them has a public hearing then. It is possible that there are some of these nonprofit organizations are doing right by way of marketing and helping showcase some of the best that Guam has to offer, but it's also possible that there might be a couple of them that for whom the work ain't any good or isn't up to speed or is obsolete in this modern day and age of the kind of marketing that GVB's got to do. So it'll be interesting to see who shows up at the public hearings for each of these measures. Again, up to about a little more than $500,000 worth of appropriations out to these organizations. 9:58 and change. You know what? It's typical Fridays. I'm looking over at the table of contents and realizing I did not get very deep into a lot of this stuff here this morning, and I'd apologize. Except you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You know, sometimes you get weeks where you got a crazy amount of news, and this has certainly been one of them. And then you got weeks where you're looking around going, somebody shoot something, please, so we can get something to talk about on the radio. This has not been that kind of week. There are a couple of things that I never did get a chance to talk about. Congratulations to the guys over at GMH. Another $2.3 million from the rebasement. I look at the rebasement, I think of DJ Rob Bass and Easy Rock. Rebasement. I don't know. There's something in there. There's a gag in there, and one of these days I'll work on it and get that done. And good news from John Fernandez in the Department of Education. This was talked about in the actual newscast today, where the idea of finally getting somebody to start doing the survey work up at Simon Sanchez and see what the nature of the work is that needs to get done. So Duenas Camacho and Associates are going to be doing that survey work. Should be done in what, 4 months, something like that, 3 months. And maybe start working up a plan to finally.
How hard is it to walk onto the grounds and point and say, "Man, you need to fix that crap"?
Well, you might imagine after a lot of years of deferred maintenance, typhoon damage, and just, you know, it's kids go to school there, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, high school age kids go to school there. There's going to be a look at the long list of crap that needs to get fixed. 3 months might not be enough in this case. Somebody going to lose a stripe on that. Hey, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. The radio station is KUSG Agana. Big weekend out there. Watch out. We got thugs that are armed and dangerous. Watch out for those guys. And if you're going to be partying, designate somebody to take you home safely, would you? 10 o'clock in the morning. We're KUSG Agana, headquarters for Fox News Live.
They sent us a bill. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. North Korea wanted the U.S. to pay for the care of American college student Otto Warmbier, who became unresponsive while in prison in Pyongyang.
In June 2017, Ambassador Joseph Yoon, then the State Department's North Korea envoy, arrived in Pyongyang with a medical team to evaluate and return Warmbier to the United States. The Washington Post reports North Korea demanded the U.S. sign an agreement promising to pay the medical bill as a condition of releasing Warmbier. The Post reports President Trump instructed Yoon to sign the deal. Yoon refuses to confirm that, though says the U.S. had done so for other prisoners.
Fox's Rich Edson at the State Department. Warmbier died shortly after he was released. His parents sued North Korea, blaming officials for his death. Quarantines issued at UCLA and Cal State for students and staff who may have been exposed to measles.